Hello everyone and welcome to the qualifiers for the Polytopia World Championships 2026. Thousands of players are going to be going head to head over the coming weeks, all for a chance to get into the grand finals live in Stockholm. But I am getting a little bit ahead of myself. Hello, you can see below me, my name is Leith. I was the host of the 2025 World Championships, not to brag, and I'm joined by a much better Polytopia player than myself, Darren, also known as Poly Strategist.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm very excited to be here today. As the poly strategist, I've mostly been playing the weekly challenges. It's going to be very interesting now to analyze the games from a domination perspective. So yeah, I'm again very excited to be here today. Really excited about this, and yeah, let's just dive straight into this, guys.
You didn't have to agree so aggressively when I said you were a better player than me. You know, you could have just been
Oh
like,
well, I mean,
all right. It's
well,
just it's a little hurtful.
You are a newer player, but I'm also, but I'm also, yeah, but I've also been playing Polytopia now for what is it, 2.5 years? So you know, this is it's going to be very exciting to see players who've also been playing for a lot longer than I have, and I think a lot of this is really going to be about how they actually enter the game, right? Because when you think about weekly challengers, which is score optimization, and then you move into domination, it's a totally different playing style. So yes, like you said, Leith, I was also there last year for the World Cup, but I'm again very excited.
Well, I mean, what did you think? It was live on stage. I mean, there were a little bit of tension at times. I thought it was a great event. Please tell me you thought it was a great event. Otherwise, this is really not great.
I think you did a great job, man. I think you did a great job. Yeah, really, it was. You brought a lot of light to it. That was
fantastic.
I was there last year, and I think it was the first Polytopia event. So this is obviously going to be the second one, and it's really cool as well to see that the game is actually getting this recognition. You know, for a game like Polytopia, which is very strategy focused. It's just so cool to see that players are gathering around, the community is here, and we're getting more and more players invested. And this is a great opportunity as well to highlight the best in the world, which I think is really cool.
I mean, what better way to highlight than to show off the tournament format? So why don't you take us through what we're going to be expecting, not just in the coming weeks, but the plan for the entire World Championship?
Absolutely. So obviously, the World Championship starts with 12 tribe weeks, right? Every single tribe will get their own qualifying week, meaning today is going to be Kikoo, but we'll get into that later. But during that week, players are going to fight through 7 qualifier tournaments. Now, you win one of those, you reach the qualifier finals. You win the qualifier finals, and you become that tribe's representative for the face-offs. And from there, obviously, the best 8 reach the championship. But yeah, we got the tribe qualifier and the face-offs in the beginning here. So this is it's not just a random qualifier for the specific weeks. It's going to be the search for the best Kikoo player and the best Yadak player, the best Wenger player, and then obviously we move into the championship, which obviously Leith, you've hosted before.
I did. It was a fantastic experience, a very unique experience. I mean, we had lights, camera, action. There was a smoke machine. It was an incredible event. Again, you were a participant from the production side of things. It was a fantastic thing to take part in. And as you mentioned, we're going to be seeing 8 out of the 12 tribes there. But over the coming weeks, we are going to be seeing the best in the world at each individual tribe. Today we're going to be looking at the Kikoo tribe, but these are the tribes that are going to have their representative selected over the next couple of weeks. Do you have a favorite?
So my favorite right now is actually not on this list. I love Illyrian. That is my absolute favorite tribe. But if I had to pick one of these, I'm a huge fan of Imperius and Bardur. I think those are the ones that I started playing, and I think when you log into the game, Bardur is like in the top. So that's definitely one of my favorites that I started off with. What about you?
My favorite is the Kikoo tribe because it's going to be the one we're covering today. Okay. Why don't you take us through the Kikoo tribe?
Absolutely. So Kikoo starts with fishing technology. So Kikoo is a tier 0 tribe, meaning that you can level up your city on the first turn. Now, this can actually make a big difference when you're actually playing against a tribe that doesn't have the tier 0 upgrade for the capital. But a lot of this really comes down to who can expand the fastest, right? So it's fish economy, it's early naval access, and obviously when we're playing on lakes and especially small, that really does create a compressed game where, quite frankly, early city discovery, first water movement, ports, and tempo swings really can decide the match quite quickly. But as the lore, of course, states here, it's a tribe of natural-born sailors, right? So you really want to utilize the fishing bonus that you start with. And of course, just like any other tribe out there, they're not a fan of the Vengir.
Naturally.
I think that's actually quite, for most tribes, they just don't like Vengir. I don't know what yeah.
So in terms of the bracket today, just so you know, there have been qualifiers taking place. We have our first confirmed semi-final. That is going to be the first one, which is Mythic RNG versus Big Dictator Bossman. Do you know these players?
I do. I know some of these players. You got Le Liberateur, Ramdingler, Big Dictator Bossman, K6 Enos. So a lot of these players actually are familiar. Ramdingler, I believe, I know his favorite tribe is Kikoo, but I believe he wanted to qualify for a different tribe. Big Dictator Bossman. He's also a great player. He has been playing a lot of weekly challenges. He actually uploaded a lot of videos to his YouTube there, showcasing that he has both skill in weekly challenges, which is score optimization, but also domination. And that actually showcases that he's a very versatile player, because players who can master both are relatively good players. So this is going to be very interesting to see. The others, Willy Bomb I've heard of, but the rest I'm not too familiar with. And it might be interesting. Last year, we did have Slimming Boy, who was quite unknown. And I think he kind of came out of nowhere, right? Where people were just, who is this guy? And he got second place. So for me, I'm not too sure who all the others are. But it's going to be very cool to see if one of these guys who might be an underdog makes it to the tribe finals.
And like I said, we have Mythic RNG versus Big Dictator Bossman. They are getting ready right now as we speak, getting ready for the semifinals, the first semifinals that we're going to be covering. Right now, that top quarterfinal is happening right now. Like, that is currently ongoing, and we'll find out very soon who they're going to be facing off against in terms of Willibomb versus the question mark. And yeah, so I think we're almost ready to get going. It's worth mentioning that you at home, you could be a casual player. You could be a competitive player. You can try to qualify for this tournament. These are open qualifications. Now, Kikoo might be a little bit late given that we're covering it live right now. But all of the other tribes that you saw, starting with your DAC next week, you can try and enter into qualification for. It could be you watching right now that we're going to be discussing in the next stream, and maybe even you that's going to be hoisting the trophy as Arthur did with the Imperius tribe last year in the 2025. I'm very excited. I'm starting to feel a little bit of energy here.
I'm very excited.
Now, I think it's worth mentioning, like you say, that some people you know and some people you don't. Big Dictator Bossman, you said, is going to be someone that you know. His opponent, actually, is Mythic RNG, who didn't get to play against Ramdingler, so that was an automatic buy, because Ramdingler was a no-show, which means how important is it that he hasn't warmed up? Because his opponent, Big Dictator Bossman, has just played a couple of games, Polytopia, maybe feeling it a little bit in a competitive environment, whereas this is going to be Mythic's first game today.
Yes. Well, it definitely does matter, right? I mean, that experience of warming up, playing those games, definitely does make a difference. Getting into that flow state, making sure that you can kind of do the calculations, do the math. I mean, it's similar to any other sport, right? You always have to warm up. You have to get prepared. You have to be ready. So I think he is going to have Big Dictator Bossman is definitely going to have an advantage there, simply because he did do the warm-up games. However, there could also be the fatigue, right? I mean, the more energy you spend, the more focus you spend in a specific game, might actually lead to a little bit of a loss. But yeah, it looks
well,
like
we're getting right into it. I think we're
going in.
starting.
Yeah.
So opening moves, why don't you take us through it? Looking at Mythic RNG start here, what are you looking at? What are you thinking about? What's your immediate reaction?
So the first thing here is, does he do the tier 0 opener or does he go for a second warrior? That is going to be the number one thing. So he goes for the tier 0 opener here, and he's most likely going to move towards the center of the map here. When it comes to opening, okay, he moved to the left. That's very interesting. So he also went for the tier 0 opener here. So
do you want to explain quickly what the tier 0 opener is?
Absolutely. The tier 0 opener is essentially leveling up your capital on the first turn, right? Some tribes don't have that option. For example, if you go with Vengir, you can't upgrade your village on your capital on the first turn, meaning that you're going to have a little bit of an economy delay. Now, economy is such an important aspect in Polytopia. So, but yes, we see that he gets the second village here.
And what happens if you get a village?
Now, obviously villages, this is a great village as well here. So he has a village with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fish. That is a great village. The faster that you can capture villages, the better you are when it comes to expansion. And there is a saying in Polytopia: whoever controls the ocean controls the game.
I think that's a saying in life as well, to be honest, my friend. I think it's quite a good representation.
Perhaps.
We see a city here.
Yeah, so there we go. And he goes for the explorer.
So do you want to explain what happens upon that, upon getting a reward? Why is he like unveiling the map? What has just happened?
Yeah, so what happens when you're playing, when you go for an explorer, obviously you get vision. This was a great explorer because not only did he find his opponent, he also discovered the Southern Lighthouse, which obviously gives you an extra population for your village. So if you're a new player, what happens here is you want to level up your city as fast as possible. And it's we're going to also dive into tech choices later on as well. We'll do a deep dive here, but that vision that he has is a huge advantage for big. I'm just going to call him Boss Man.
That's a good idea, yeah. Boss Man.
I keep
rolls off the tongue a little bit easier, yeah.
Boss Man,
Do you want to explain what domination is? Because some people might be who've just tuned in and go, hang on, they're starting on opposite ends of the map. Okay, I understand that conceptually, but how do you win?
So in the domination, the goal here is, of course, to just simply eradicate your opponent, to capture their capital. And it's as simple as that. So when you're playing against an opponent like this, the goal is just to end up in a winning position where you are completely overwhelming your opponent. And the other game mode is, of course, perfection, which is also what the weekly challenges are based around. And the goal here is just to maximize your score. So the playing styles are actually quite different.
I'll take a second to just acknowledge that also, if you look at what we're seeing on the screen, obviously we have the match score at the top, the comparative points, which give a mild representation of how far each player has gotten. At the bottom, we can see obviously the usernames of our players, how many units have been slain, how many units they currently possess, how many cities they have, their current star income, and as it's a turn-based game, how long they have left on their turn timer. Talk me through the income, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so right now, obviously, Bossman is leading a little bit with the income. He's also on that village, and what's interesting is he can actually capture that. But income is a very important aspect of the Polytopia game, because whoever controls or has more income will, most of the time, have an advantage. Mm-hmm. Now, this is not always the case, so a player might actually focus on very aggressive expansion and just explore, gain those villages. Whereas another player might focus on economy, but economy does really set up the mid game, right?
Right.
Because you have more economy, more stars, which is your income, to buy troops, to buy technology, to get upgrades, to gain giants, right? Which gives you that advantage in this game. But Bossman currently has 3 cities, and he got a population growth. So this is another interesting aspect.
Each time a city grows, you get a reward for it.
Yes, absolutely. So the first upgrade is typically, is always an explorer or an additional star for your capital. The second upgrade is going to be stars. So you get an additional 5 stars, or you get a little bit of a defense bonus. So this is mostly not that often used, except for when it's a very critical city that you have to defend. So I would not be surprised if Bossman, who is most likely about to capture this village here, is going to go for a fort on his tier 2 upgrade, should he get to that.
So we've got 3 cities to 2. I mean, just from the layman's eyes, I think that Bossman is in a better position. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He is in a better position. He's got a little bit more on the economy here. He's got good water access. And he's getting control now of the entire northeast of the map. And he's looking like he's expanding onto the northwest side as well.
Comparatively little vision on this side of things.
Yes. This is a challenging spot for Mythic RNG here. He did get a swordsman, which is sometimes it's good, sometimes it can be, not as useful. But Bossman has a great defense here, so this is looking like it's a tough spot for Mythic RNG here. Not gonna lie.
Well, what would you do in his position? What's he hoping for?
So the thing here is he needs to push. He's probably going to go for a giant here. He can most likely get this next turn. So again, he is down on cities. What he needs to do here is to gain control of that middle city, which is why I was a little bit surprised when I mentioned earlier that he didn't go towards the center of the map. So if we think back, the first turn he actually went more towards the northeast as opposed to the middle, and he goes for a second explorer here. It's going to be interesting. Getting the lighthouse, that is fantastic. And for new players as well, one thing, when you discover all 4 lighthouses, you get something called a monument. Now, a monument, he got it. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
So he did get the monument, which means he can now place that monument, which is going to take up 1 spot, 1 tile within one of his villages, to gain 3 population growth. There you go. You popped it, he gets his first giant. You get your giant, you get to level 5, you get a second monument, which is what just happened here.
4 cities to 2, it does feel like the pendulum of power is shifting in Bossman's direction. You got to think Mythic's hoping for something big here. I mean, there were some initial little bits of combat here and there, but it does look like Mythic has pulled back forces since then. It'll be a tough one to get out of.
You can also take a look at the points here, Leif. I mean, you...
Sorry, I hadn't seen that. It's my entire job to be a caster. I didn't look up and see that. Yeah, sorry about that. Fair enough.
He has more than double the points.
Yes.
So he's going to get, Mythic is going to get his 3rd village here, and he gets a population, which is great. He gets his giant, which he's really going to need here. But again, Bossman does have more cities. He does have more units. So he most likely will be able to defend that.
And also doesn't have access to the sea on this end of things, does Mythic, which you were saying is quite important.
Yes.
Okay.
So Mythic went to, the northeast. He really, in my opinion, the correct play would have been to gone center. He would have most likely had that center village right now, and he would have been in a little bit of better position. However, taking a look at the map now, Bossman does have more water access. So the question then is, typically when you move into the mid game, who controls the lake, right? Who gets the better port value? So this is going to be a interesting thing. What I'm very curious about here is, will Mythic have a comeback? That's the question.
I mean, that's going to be the question on his mind as well, I imagine, at this sort of stage in the game. Am I correct in saying that those are a lot of villages in the northwest, or the western corner, I should say, that it looks like Bossman has access to? Do you want to explain how you actually get a city? Again, those of you who are veterans, we're trying to appeal to you. Also appealing to the casual viewers at home. Maybe you've never seen Polytopia before. If so, kind of weird you clicked on the stream, but we're happy to have you here. How do you get a new city? What do the villages mean?
So villages essentially mean that you get access to more economy and more unit generation. When you capture a village, the process is simple. You simply have to place one of your existing units onto that village. And once you placed your unit onto that village, the next turn, when it's your turn, again, you pass, and then the next turn, you're able to capture that village. And once you capture the village, well, it gives you access to roads. You can connect that village, which is a technology. We'll get back to that, guys. But it essentially gives you the option to level up your city, more stars, more income, and more units to bash your opponent.
Excellent. And, well, as we can see here, Mythic does not know where those villages are at the moment. So perhaps this tricky spot. I mean, has moved the giant up to sort of attempt a little bit of a blockade or a stop on that. Well, what looks to be a significant force massing. We've got 12 units to 6 in favor of Bossman.
And take a look at the income now as well. So Mythic has an additional star above Bossman. You see, Bossman has prioritized very aggressive expansion here. And for the newer players as well. So one thing that you'll notice is that they will most often buy technology. Now, technology is used to gain access to upgrades, to better units, and the more villages you have, the more expensive the technology is. So Bossman now has 4 cities. He's about to capture another, and the turn after another, which means that his technology is going to be a lot more expensive than Mythic, but they're both at the same income level. So the interesting thing here, which we also saw earlier, is Mythic, he also did a border growth, which is one of the other upgrades that you can do. Going back to your previous question, Laith, what happens when you upgrade your cities? He just did a border growth, which gave him access to the lake. And he is definitely going to need that. So the question now is, does he get access before Bossman? Because Bossman hasn't really focused on any water technologies from what I've seen. He did, however, move...
Yeah, I was about to say, he did move a giant into the water there.
He did, yes, he did move a giant onto the water, which is I
was going to say, as if he'd heard you, but for the viewers at home, you are watching on a 10-minute delay. This is put into place to make sure that players cannot get an advantage by straight up cheating. In the grand finals, we of course have them sitting next to each other and have AirPods or earphones or headphones on to make sure that they have noise cancelling, so they can't make any sort of how do I put this polite? Well, I won't put it politely. So they can't cheat. Simple as that, really.
Simple as that. You can't cheat. So he just got a second giant here, and he's focused on Sawmill, which is a good choice here given his position. He's slowly catching up to points here, but again, those villages give him the additional points. But Mythic has a good defense here. So when you get the sawmills, that technology, you also gain access to a special unit called the catapult. Now, the catapult is a very squishy, means that it can be killed very easily, but it's a catapult that you fire from a long distance, and it deals a lot of damage. And he's going to need that from his position, especially if he wants to capture that center village. And it's a very narrow spot too, so the ability for riders is not the best, really. Right. He's set himself up for good defense here. The question is he able to push the northwest here? Kikoo just got that. If he loses that, it's going to look very difficult for Mythic to get back into this.
Yeah, well, he's pushed into
Yeah.
Nosy and is also moving troops out west.
He gets that village there. I'm curious what Bossman does here.
I have to see.
This
I mean,
is one of the...
yeah, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of those moments where you have to decide, do you want to start hitting the giant or not? But Bossman does have vision, and he knows that there is a second giant coming back there. So, you know, this is one of those, do I let him take it and then maybe pivot and focus on water domination?
I don't know. It looks like he's pushing out west. Units are moving west.
They are.
It looks like he's trying to pick up all the villages out west a little bit. I don't think he's going to go for to defend Nosy. I don't think so. I mean, he does have a troop advantage, but he's not going to know everything about that. Like you say, he can see that there is another giant coming, so perhaps he's looking to bide his time. I mean, he does have a higher amount of income, higher amount of potential income, so playing of the long game does suit him a little bit better. It feels to me like Mythic is the one that needs to push the pace here.
Yeah, it is 7-3 cities here. So this, you know, from a mathematical perspective, Bossman is in the winning position here, simply because of his cities. It's going to scale almost exponentially here at this stage. And he did get the catapults. He does have a great defense here. So what's going to happen now is he's going to bump that giant. He gets a second giant here. He has more ruins. This really is looking more and more into Bossman's favor. But again, it's always... The thing about Polytopia is a mistake can change the whole game. That's what's so cool about this.
We've seen that in the grand finals. I mean, we were expecting certain players to go all the way, but one mistake was all it takes. And frankly, at that point, like you say, you're scrambling to make up for it, and also you go into the next game thinking, oh man, I've made a massive mistake, particularly when it's streamed, when the pressure's on, and it can have that sort of cascading effect. Sometimes it is better just to sort of accept the mistake and move on.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about this is this is best out of 3 as well. So what's interesting here is that a player who is maybe not familiar with the other player might get a read on the opponent. Like, how do they play? Are they typically more aggressive? Are they more conservative in terms of their expansion and their aggression? How do they play? This is very useful information for a skilled player who can then use that to going into the second game should that individual lose. But there is a lot of action going on here. He's sieging here.
He's going for it, looks like.
Yeah.
See, Ryder's going out west. I mean, again, I don't exactly have as much of a refined eye as you, but this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit of a slower pace here, but it does look like Bossman's looking to put it to bed a little bit here.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it is going to be very hard for Mythic to come back from this. This is the point where you can see the benefit of having a lot of cities. Because when you have fewer cities, that's, again, you're...
I mean, look at the income gap. It's 28 to 17 at the moment, and those units are double the size. So unless a mistake happens, it is Bossman's to lose. Lose it, he might. Lose it, I don't think he will. We're going to have to see.
Yeah, this is well,
Mythic's gonna have to force a mistake. That's what's gonna happen. He's got to try and do something. He can't sit and be whittled down. You need to sort of make a move. Again, remember it is best out of 3, so this doesn't automatically discount Mythic. We might be able to see a reverse sweep coming up, but again, has to push the pace a little bit. I mean, Bossman is taking a long time with his turns. That's what I will say. Very measured, I would say. Is that sort of correct with what you've seen of Bossman in the past?
Well, the thing about the more experience you have, the better plays that you can make, but you also feel more confident and calm around the timer, because you know that, okay, if I have X amount of minutes, now he has 2 minutes. And the thing about Might, this game mode, is that the more villages you control, the more time you have.
Right.
The Bossman actually has more seconds now than Mythic when the timer resets. which actually gives Bossman more time to think. And of course, let's not forget about the time that it takes to. You can use the time to think. And I'm curious here. He got a rune, but I didn't see what he got. Was that Did you see that?
I wish I could tell you.
Maybe like stars or a tech.
Here's what we'll do. Let's gamble and say it was one or the other, and then if we're wrong, we'll just claim it as doctor.
Yeah.
It's gonna make us look bad. Looks like Ryder's going out on the eastern front here.
Yeah.
Doesn't go for the village immediately, goes instead to counter the warrior coming up. Again, I think just trying to deny the village more than take it. Take it himself. That's a big old giant fight in the middle, though.
He went for the roads, go back.
Yeah, do you want to explain what the roads are and how they can work?
Yeah, so essentially what roads do is they will give you a longer range of movement. Very simply, if you are on one tile and you can typically only move with most units one tile from one to the next. However, if you have a roads, you can move two tiles. Now there are certain units like Bossman has a lot of riders on the map here. Now riders, they give you standard 2 tiles of movement. Now if you have roads, that is of course doubled. Right, so then you get all of a sudden you get 4 tiles of movement, which is huge. Which is how he was able to hit that unit roads back to the village. But yeah, this is
that was a term that I was hearing about a lot when I first got into Polytopia. I was sitting down with all the pros and they're like, "Oh, riders roads, riders roads." I had no idea what rider roads were. And frankly, I didn't want to ask because it made me feel a little bit silly. But it was explained to me eventually because everyone's really, really nice in the community and no one made me feel bad. But like I say, it just shows that there's a lot of different strategies that you can use. And, well, we see a catapult over here, but I think... Oh, there you go. Nice shot, son. We've also seen on the inverse side, Bossman has his own catapult. And I'll be honest, that over on the west there, that's a lot of it's a lot of stuff to try and contend with.
Yeah, this is looking like a very hard decision for Mythic here. I mean, he is currently dealing with 1, 2. You know, we can see it down here, 7 plus the 2 he's about to capture up there against his Mythic's 4 cities. So that's 5 city lead. Mathematically, Mythic is in a losing position here.
Yeah, I mean, he's kept up on income quite nicely.
Yeah, but he is definitely, and he went for the markets here too.
Do you want to explain what the markets do?
The markets essentially give you more economy for each sawmill, windmill, or smith that you have. Now, a sawmill is essentially, you can see this on the map. Both players have utilized this game. It's for each forest, you can chop the forest. And whenever you chop the forest, if there is a free tile next to your chopped forest, you can place a sawmill. And what the sawmill does is very simple. It gives you an additional population for your city where the sawmill is placed. Now, when you place that sawmill, obviously I just mentioned the population that you get, but if you then place a market next to that sawmill, or if there is a farm on the map, or farming, we'll probably look more into that when we get to the bossy tribes and whatnot. But then you get an X amount of stars per level that the sawmill has. So if you look at Loco, the Bossman's capital, he currently has 2. Yeah, he goes for trade here as well, where you can get the markets. He has 2 sawmills. Ooh. That is looking juicy right there. Yeah,
that's 9 cities, huh?
Yeah, we're up to 9 cities here.
Really took the whole, if you have more cities, you control the mid game very seriously.
Yes.
Now, I'll ask this. Do you think there was an opportunity for Bossman to sort of rush down and try and take the cities earlier? Or do you think that this is a much sort of smarter play, slowly build up over time, extend that city gap, and push in at his leisure?
Well, the thing about Polytopia is you're playing with Fog of War, right? Which is why these explorers are so important to get. Because explorers give you prediction power. You can essentially now know that, okay, this player is moving in this direction, which gives me more time to do this or that, right? So it gives you more options. Whereas Mythic, for example, early on in the game, he didn't have a lot of vision, which makes it hard to predict where is my opponent, where is he, where is, So I think that Bossman played this very well. He did move aggressively into the center of the map. Then he went to the sides. But again, he could do that because he had the vision, right? And he knew that Mythic, he wasn't near those villages. He had time.
So do you think there's something, what would you have done differently if you were Mythic facing this?
Well, I think going back to the first turn, when you start in your capital, the first thing I would have done is obviously have gone towards the center. Center of the map is very strong play. I mean, there are moments where that is maybe not the best, and when that is not the best is typically when you see that there is a lot of opportunity for population growth. So forests, these little bananas, fruits that you see on the map there next to his city, Cookie. These are predictions that there is a village there, actually. So the more fruits or villages or forests, stronger prediction of villages. So, but I would have definitely moved differently. I would have moved north. And then, of course, we can't deny the fact that Mythic spawn, it wasn't the most advantageous, right? If we compare it to Bossman. He is restricted to water. Like, look at these, all 4 cities, none of them are directly connected to the water here.
Having said that, have we seen much of the water being used by Bossman?
Surprisingly little. He is setting up for it, looking like it now. You can see he's got a couple of units on the water, but he's used surprisingly little, right? And I mean, when you think of a game like this, the question is always.
Sorry, I'm just seeing a lot of sounds here. We see buildings. That's a lot of income now. I mean,
yes, now,
comparatively.
For newer players, the income is almost very often decisive in terms of who's winning. Now he has 57 stars compared to it's almost double stars to Mythic. Now, very simply, what does that mean? It means that from here on, Bossman, he's going to scale exponentially.
Like you say, Mythic does need to poke a little bit harder here. I mean, he has maintained control over Nocia. I mean, it looks like Bossman has withdrawn almost entirely from there, focusing instead on developing and taking that cluster in the west, maintaining a presence in the east. And it looks to me, I mean, there's a couple of catapults there. It looks to me like maybe Mythic would be looking to push up the center themselves here. I mean, like you're saying, they do need a port. They do need that. I mean, it doesn't look like they're challenging the east at all.
Goes for border growth here as well. It's interesting what you just said there, though. Like, one of the things that Bossman is doing here, if we analyze his play, he's not going that aggressive. And he knows he doesn't have to either, right? Because he is literally controlling the... he's got him cornered in at this stage. So he can literally just play safe, build economy, build up his units and troops, and using his catapults, hold off Mythic from doing any sort of huge push, huge attack. So Bossman is really just going to scale and try and bleed out Mythic while he's building until there's nothing he can do.
I mean, we can talk about what we were talking a bit before the stream, which is you get the most aggressive player in Polytopia, you chuck them on a stream, you chuck them in front of a camera, you put them in a higher stake situation, and everyone naturally starts to play a little bit more defensive. So I wonder if that's sort of going into this a little bit. But please, take me through the chivalry.
Yeah, so chivalry here, and I'm very, very excited to actually talk about the previous one as well. But chivalry is a unit that gives you a chain. So you can first of all, huge range. It can move a long distance. Cover a lot of ground. 3 tiles, actually.
Be clear, you're talking about the unit, the knight.
Yeah, the knight.
Yes.
So if we look at his capital, you see that he has the knight there. And this has tremendous range. That's the first. The second is that it can chain. So if it kills a unit, it can kill another. And so forth until it can't kill anymore. So it's a really good unit to clean up. And there he goes with the markets. But it's a great unit to clean up opponents if they have a lot of squishy units around. And that combination, the knights, is also really good with, if you have a couple of bombers, to weaken stronger units, your knights can push through. What do you think he's going to do here, if you look at Mythic?
I think Mythic's going to start to push. Now, I think he's going to go east. That's my bet. That's what I'm gambling on. I think he's seen the lightly defended east. I think he knows that he has a deficit to make up in terms of cities. And I think he's going to go for that eastern line. He can obviously see, like you're saying, the vision's quite important. He stationed a giant west to try and protect that, backed up by a catapult. Might be pushing on that front, but I'm seeing a lot of forces in the water east. I think that's where we're going to be seeing some action. Now, I'm going to look like an idiot if he's if I'm wrong here, so I appreciate you throwing that question my way.
Yeah, this is
oh, hang on, there's the knight. There's the knight.
Look at that, guys. That's it. That's huge. Oh, wow. So this right here, guys, this is the danger of knights, and Mythic didn't have vision.
He couldn't see.
Did not have vision. He did not know that knight was going to come.
Reportedly did not know that knight was coming to ruin his day.
And this is one of those moments in Polytopia when you get knighted, it's like, oh man, I just it's a huge loss because you lose a lot of units.
The morale.
The morale just drops. So I'm very curious how Mythic is going to take this.
Poorly, I'd imagine. I wouldn't take it very well.
No.
I'm also a terrible little raging. I'd have smashed my keyboard by now. But he's presumably a better person and player than I am. So we'll have to see here.
I wouldn't initially just say he's a better person, but better player, yeah.
No, I do. I know myself. Yeah. I know well enough. You're being too kind. Look, we're going to be casting a lot over the next couple of weeks together. You'll quickly find out. And back to Polytopia. I don't think there's... Well, I mean, we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see what Mythic does here. But like we've been saying for a while, we're going to have to see Mythic force a mistake. And it doesn't look like Bossman is leaving any openings. Now having troops out on the east. Not going to be vulnerable to something a little bit sneaky there. There goes the knight. Another little poke there.
And also take a look at the time now. Bossman has 3 minutes, you know. And he also set up another knight. And again, that timer... scales with your villages, right? So the more villages you have, the longer time you have, the more time you have to make decisions.
Now, we're going back to me being a bad person. If I was Bossman, I'd also be winding down that clock as much as possible, really trying to get in my opponent's head, play a little bit of mind games, because the longer that Mythic has to stare at what's going on, the longer I think personally he has to get inside his own head and try to think about something, try to force something. Especially when you're in such a dominant position as Bossman is currently, you can afford to sort of attempt to get in your opponent's head a little bit here.
Absolutely, it's a lot of psychology as well in Polytopia, right? So you could do multiple things. The first is you can play incredibly fast to try and reduce the amount of time your opponent has to think. The other is, of course, you can try and spread it out and take your time and make your opponent be like, I'm lost, just lose all hope. That
was the interesting thing about Arthur versus Slimming Boy, which was the final of the 2025 championships, is that Slimming Boy would often be, he would sometimes play really, really fast, and Arthur, tremendous player, would play extremely fast, and Slimming Boy would occasionally run out of time, and we saw him with some outside strategies, but like you say, there is merit to forcing your opponent to constantly be on the back foot, constantly have the turn thrown back to them. But now we start to see a little bit of movement in the center, redirecting everything west and north, in and out with that horse. We'll have to see.
Yes. This is if Bossman gets at center village there, and I don't think he has a lot of defense here. He's got... Oh, he did just get the catapult, but is it going to be enough? So the question now is, can Mythic defend against a siege from a full HP giant, right? If he decides to go in.
I think is the answer. No, I don't think he can either. Especially when we're starting to see, giants in the east. Lots of riders in the west, a couple of knights there as well. I mean, this is overwhelming force as you're ever going to see it. More knights being churned out. And that income gap is not getting any smaller. At this point, I think Bossman now is... I don't want to sound insensitive, but toying with him a little bit. Yeah. Now finally going into the central town, but at will, I think we'll see what Bossman can do. But it is in those moments that Mythic might be able to snipe a city, might be able to get a couple of units in. Nope, there we go. And there it is. Yeah, I think that was probably the story of the tape for a while. But there we have it, the very first game on the stream, and Bossman takes it 1-0. Remember that this is a best of 3. So we'll take it back to the studio now, and we'll have a little bit of chat as to what we saw. Well, it was a story of one half, I think, the entire time. It didn't really ever look like Bossman was going to let go of that initial lead. What do you think?
Not at all. I think from the position that Bossman was in, again, he had the upper hand, especially with the villages. Like when you capture more villages, you're just in a much better position. It's not always the case, but most of the time, I would say 8 out of 10, the person who controls more villages is typically in a better position and more likely to win the game. So Bossman knew that. He knew he had the advantage. He had complete vision of the map, and he knew if I just keep stalling and building, I'm going to bleed him out. I'm going to, he can't do nothing.
Yeah. Which is what we saw. I'll ask a slightly harder question then. Do you think Bossman made any mistakes?
It's a good question. Did he make any mistakes? So
he can't answer you right now, so you can just say whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
The hard thing, was to obviously look at not just the gameplay, but it was also to look at, when I was explaining, I was more focused on that but what mistakes did he make? I think he could have maybe pushed a little bit harder on Mythic, but I'm not sure if he had to, right? So is it a mistake, right? That's the thing. He was in such a good position to simply just build his economy. He knew that, again.
You could have won harder, is what you're trying to say. His only mistake is he didn't win quicker.
He could have just, gone in there
gone straight for him.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to see what happens in the second one. Obviously, new map, the same players. It is a best of 3, so Mythic can turn it around. But like we were saying, this is Mythic's first game of the day. And for your first game of the day to be a loss is kind of tricky. Obviously, Bossman, having come from a victory, he's going to be feeling himself a little bit. And now another victory in the semi-final. Frankly, he's 1 win away from getting into the final. He's 3 wins away from getting into the sort of the next section of the tournament. So he has to be feeling good about that. And I think I just want to say we've received word. Liberator, who was in the grand finals last time, someone that I met personally, is gone.
Oh.
He has been eliminated in the quarterfinals, which to me just shows how competitive the scene is. Someone who was at that point you can just say essentially one of the best players in the world. He was with 7 other players who are part of that cohort, and he's out in the quarterfinals. He's not going to be making it.
He finished 5th in Cincy last year. So the thing about the tribes is, we're, again, like I mentioned, leading into this, we're not necessarily looking at finding the best overall player. We're looking at finding the best player for one specific tribe. But yeah, we're going into second game.
So you timed that perfectly. That was fantastic. That you finished your sentence as it came in. That was great. I'm very impressed. Well, speaking of finding the best person for the tribe, let's see who's the best of this best of 3 as we get started. Walk me through it.
So Mythic didn't go for a tier 0 upgrade. He went for a second warrior here, which is the other variation of play that you can make here. Whereas Bossman, he went for the tier 0 upgrade. So he's going to go for his second warrior now.
Let's see.
But looking at the map here, they're both starting in the north.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a little bit... I mean, neither one of them is going to know where the other one is at this point. they're going to probably assume they're somewhere on the other side. So it's going to be quite a surprising moment for them when they figure out that actually might be a little bit closer to home. 2 villages close by within vision for Mythic, and only 1 for Bossman now. We'll have to sort of see.
So this is looking at this from an early game perspective. This is looking like Mythic is in a better position here. Bossman found a village right next to the ocean or to the lake, which is good. But we see that Mythic is getting control of that center village. Bossman is going to find him any second now. Oh. And this is going to be exciting.
Ooh, 2 techs.
Yeah, he got 2 techs here. He saved his income to get forestry and hunting here. What is
it feels to me like Mythic is pushing more to the center, like you're saying that they potentially should have done last game. They have pushed. I mean, you're not getting more central than that. So we'll see.
And mind you,
yeah,
the pressure is on Mythic here. He needs to win this game if he wants to have a shot at advancing. Right?
Oh, Explorer, let's see. Ah, and he finds him. Hello.
Finds him here.
Finds a village as well, and another one. Oh. I mean, with that, he should have enough information to sort of gather where where his opponent is, really. I'll have to see. Oh, this is going to be a cagey one.
Yeah, so this might end up in a very, a lot of fighting early game.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got, 2 villages split between them right in the middle there. Obviously, we've got Mythic taking Lalo very early, but Bossman looking poised to try and take the other village. I think there's going to be a lot of early game fighting here.
It's looking like Mythic is, because he has both have access to the lake now, right? From his capital, and also Bossman with his second village.
But Mythic doesn't know where Bossman is right now. You haven't seen him
Not yet, no. Yeah.
So that's one little advantage. We'll see. You can't see that other village. Just doesn't know it's there.
Explorer here.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
There we go. So that is huge for Mythic, and mind you, this is interesting as well for newer players. When you explore or find your opponent, let's say you find your opponent when he has 1,000 stars versus 2,000 stars, the more points your opponent has, the more stars that you get. So he found, Mythic just found Bossman later on. He just got a little bit more stars than Bossman did when he found Mythic.
Right, okay. Better to meet your opponent later when it comes to pure stars, but strategically, bit of a toss-up.
Sometimes, yeah.
You were talking about the monuments in the corner of the map, and it didn't look like the Explorer did not quite get there for the Mythic, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
Both Mythic and Bossman, I don't think they've found a single lighthouse, either of them. Does find that ruin though, and he went for the ruin. This is interesting. Bossman went for the ruin as opposed to the village.
Okay. Do you want to explain the difference between like what a ruin contains?
So, for example, a ruin can contain a lot of different things, right? It can be a swordman. It can be capital. It could be population growth, which is essentially population for your capital, giving you more pop to level up your city. Give you stars.
Ooh. What do you think he's going to get? Quick gamble.
Stars.
Oh! He knows.
He got stars.
He's clued into the game. Yeah. That's just how good Poly Strategist is.
Yes, that's... wish that luck carried on in blackjack. I'm just kidding.
We'll play a game after this. We'll see. Okay, so now presumably he's going to try and turn back and get that village. I mean, we'll see. These other ones that are sort of the eastern and southern end of the map are not as easily accessible as the others. Yeah. So we'll see if they decide to charge those ones. You have to think that Mythic doesn't want to be in the same situation that he was before, and so might prioritize more. Yeah. Oh, a giant.
Gets the first giant. Yeah, gets the first giant here. That's big. It's going to allow him to push towards that little city that that Mythic has there. So the question now is, will he defend that?
Well, Mythic can see it, so we'll see if he decides to push anything. It looks like, to me at least, he's pulling back from that. I don't think he's going to try and defend it in any sort of way, shape, or form. Let's see if he actually starts to go for the other village. I mean, it's not all. He does.
That's very interesting.
Oh, and he has got troops there. He is defending it.
Yeah.
And putting up riders.
He's trying to create a... there might be a stalemate for that village.
Yeah.
Right, until the giant can go for it.
Yeah, do you want to explain how actually taking a city works?
Yeah. So when you place a unit onto a village, you still have to wait until the next turn to capture it, giving the opponent the option to kill the unit that is standing on the village and denying you from taking that village. Which is why very often when you see a village like that, it's contested. Mythic has had plenty of opportunities to step on it, but he knows that Bossman has those units and can simply pop him off if he wants to. So he wants to make sure that, you know, Bossman doesn't get it. And I think Bossman wants to do the same by keeping his units in the back. Look, no one goes in that village. They're just setting up defense for whoever goes on it first.
So what's wrong with putting your unit on the village first then, in your mind?
Well, what would happen is obviously the unit is going to get killed, right? And that's the first thing. The second thing is you force a fight.
Ooh.
And
there we go, picks
great explorer here.
There we go, that's good stuff. Oh, finds another village. And another. Yeah. And another.
Yeah, there we go. If he can move fast to those southern cities, Mythic is going to be in a very good spot here. Mm-hmm. And this is very interesting because you want to expand while at the same time focus on defense and offense, right? It's a balance, Polytopia.
Can I ask a question here? What technology is it that allows units to go into the water? Because for an outsider, they might think, well, why don't they just put the units into the water and go and rush down to the west?
Yeah, great question. So Kikoo is a water tribe. Like we mentioned, for those who are new as well and probably came in here, you start with the technology called fishing. Fishing allows you to collect fish that are near your village, which means that you can collect those fish to upgrade your city. But then to get on the ocean or the water, you have to place a port, which you also gain from the fishing technology. So with that, you can, after placing the port, that's when you can access the ocean or the water or the lake, right?
So we'll see if they decide to chuck one down.
Yeah.
Down there. Oh, well, there we go.
Here, there are the ports.
Are we sure there's a 10-minute delay? They listen to us directly. They are not, to be clear. Okay. I can't wait, because that's going to panic production. Quick, tell them! Quick, tell them there's a 10-minute delay.
Guys. So, 2 ports. I think Mythic made a good play here. Well,
it's a little movement. I think there's going to be a little bit of combat out west.
The reason why... Hello! Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he attacked. He moves back.
A little in and out. I think that giant's definitely going to... Lolo?
Yeah, it's gonna siege. It's gonna siege.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna contest that. He's probably instead. Yeah, it looks instead like he's going for the other one. Yeah, he's going for the ones down south. He can play the long game. Now the concern, obviously, how threatening is that giant to the rest of the territories?
Well, the giant is Mythic doesn't really have the ability to defend against that giant at this current point, which is why a giant is so decisive early game. If you can send a giant towards a city early game, you will most of the time gain access, because the stars required to defend against a giant is massive. I mean, think about it. I think you need at least, 9 units just to hit it.
Well, I mean, you were saying about not having the means to defend himself. And here we have another giant on the capital for Mythic. In fact, that leads me into a question for some people. Firstly, siege is being undertaken. How does combat? You were saying he doesn't have the means to defend against the giant. He's going to take a couple of hits. What does combat actually look like?
Well, combat in Polytopia is pretty straightforward. You move a unit next to another and you hit it. You either deal damage to it or you kill it. Now, there are certain units that can attack from a range, such as catapults, like we saw earlier during the first game. You have bombers, which is essentially a special naval unit that cost 15 stars. It's a very expensive unit. But once placed, it acts very similar to a catapult. And you can bomb other units. And what happens when you bomb one specific unit, it will deal splash damage to the other units. And that's why a bomber also pairs so great with the knights that we also saw in the last game.
Bit of splash damage, sending the knight to clean up.
Yes. So, for example, if a unit does 10 damage to the giant, it's going to deal another 4 to 5 damage to the surrounding units. That's what splash damage is.
And here we can see that when, that rider jumped in, hit that warrior, there he's killed it, so there's no retaliatory damage. But when he doesn't kill it, there is damage coming straight back at them.
Mm-hmm. And that's the benefit with the riders, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's you can hit a rider, hit a unit with a rider, and then you can easily bounce back, putting it back into safety, not having to sacrifice that, because like anything, units cost stars. You can preserve those stars and make them live for longer, you're in a good position. And
did they heal when you go back into your territory?
No, you have to manually heal. So if you want to heal your unit, and this is a cool part, you can do two things. You can either preserve that one unit, heal it, not go into combat for one turn, or you can try and use that one unit to gain kills. And when you get 3 kills, you get something called a veteran. So you could be at 2 HP, 2 life as a rider, and then get a kill, and then instantly you can upgrade that one unit, if it gets 3 kills, to something called a veteran, healing it back up to 15 life. And that is a very interesting thing. Like, let's look at this rider.
Ooh.
Boom, he just got a kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll say there's a second giant on the board as Lolo is taken, one in the capital. It looks to me like there's a fleet for Mythic trying to go for those cities, and it's going to be a case of how much can Bossman take before Mythic starts to overtake with the difference in cities. If he does that. Right now, obviously, the advantage is for Bossman. But this is going to be, in my opinion, a bit of a clash of styles here. I think Mythic's going to try and go for the cities. Bossman's going to try and force the action through the center. Seen a lot of riders. Does have the advantage of an extra giant. And here we are. We were predicting a contested area on this village. Is he going to take it? There we go.
Yeah.
Does he leave? Does he stay?
I think he's going to send it back and then let his giant clean up next turn.
He's thinking about it. I think he's staying. Nah, he's back.
Yeah.
He leaves. Cowardly. Cowards. We'll see. I mean, if you're boss man, do you start to push towards your opponent's capital? Do you just try and rush that down, considering that you're not contesting the other villages?
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, if Bossman is smart here, because he does have a giant there in the middle, defending Mythic, that is. If he is smart here, he pushes a little bit in the center, because you could do two things here. You could either just try and create a stalemate for that one village, but before I continue, I just want to comment this play. Bridge. This is an amazing play here. So he just placed a bridge to knock that unit off. Look at that.
Very nice.
And he might even go south.
We were wondering how he's going to cross the water. Bridges. That's how.
Yeah.
There you go. And knocks that warrior off of his post, and will look to potentially take it himself. I mean, we were thinking that maybe Mythic was going to have the advantage in terms of cities long term, but I don't know.
Bossman he goes for the. Yeah, he goes for the double. I don't think he's gonna. Well, is he calculating whether he can hold? This is interesting. I think what's going through his mind here is, can I siege that village? Yes or no? So, yeah, he did the math, and he realized that his opponent can't access that unless he goes for ramming here. He can't kill it. Now, ramming is a special water unit that allows you to kill riders. If he goes for sailing, it's not going to deal enough damage.
Oh. There's the sailing. Oh!
So kills that unit, but the village is still free. So he's not going to be able to knock him off that village.
No, it doesn't look so. Now, chaps, if you think that you could do better than these players, perhaps you want to participate in the qualifiers yourself, make sure to join the Polytopia Discord, as we just saw popping up. Again, I need to remind you that these qualifiers are going to be going on in the next couple of weeks, and if you're watching at home thinking, what? Obviously, he should have done this thing. Oh, why didn't he move that unit? I would have done something completely differently. Then it's your chance to prove it. We could be talking about you in the next stream. We could be talking about you live in the grand finals in Stockholm. And of course, if you prefer to be a viewer, make sure to grab your tickets yourself. As Darren can attest to, it was a fantastic event. He was a viewer, I was a host. We both had a fantastic time.
I can testify to that. That was a great event.
A little bit of combat there. Do you think he'll be able to hold that village that he's going to take in the center?
He might be able to hold it. He's getting a catapult lined up in the back there. He did send it north, though. Okay, that's interesting.
Have a little look.
So both players are trying to advance towards the south there. You see that? There's a slow level of expansion there. Income-wise, Big Bossman is leading, 17 to 13. He's killed more units. Both of them should have the monument Gate of Power. Now, we briefly spoke about monuments in the previous game as well. You have the Eye of God, which is the monument that gives you, every single monument essentially gives you 3 population growth. But you can look at them as quests, right? The one quest is to get 100 stars. Another quest is to get 10 kills. Another quest is to connect 5 cities to your capital. And for each quest that you complete, you get another monument, which helps you get giants.
And as we've seen, giants are very pivotal for this.
Yes.
Mythic is standing on 2 different villages now. That will make up the difference. Let's see.
Goes for the explorer. He's gonna get the lighthouse.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. He does.
He got the north one. All right.
That's gonna be the tricky one for him.
Question is, how does he get the last one? Does he have the...
With difficulty, I think, is the answer. Let's see. I'd be curious to see what he does with these 2 giants versus 1 in the center. What's he doing? I have to see here. Okay. He gets a couple of boats. More of them into the water. A little bit of combat. I think he's trying to push the pressure a little bit here. He knows he does have a disadvantage in the way of giants. Yeah. We'll have to see from there.
So this is, yeah, this is looking very interesting now. I mean, he's going to capture, Bossman is going to capture those 2 villages here, giving him an even more of a lead over Mythic here. So the question now is just how do you hold on. He went for roads. Is he going to try and siege his capital?
He's going for it, yeah.
Is that a siege? Oh,
he's going for it.
He's going to siege, yeah. He's going to siege that. Oh my, wow.
He's going straight for the capital. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow. This is one of those plays where, you know, that is great. And he has his giant in the back there.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Chaps, we have our... Oh, he's playing on.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
I'm finish my...
I'll finish my turn.
He's showing off here.
But there we go. Bossman does go 2-0 in the semifinals, 1 step closer to being the Kikoo representative. Man, what a great play, rushing straight for the capital. I do like it when they do that. We'll see, I'm sure, more of that with later on tries. But your take on that? We have a finalist.
Yeah, we have a finalist. Bossman is an incredibly good player. I mean, I've seen him play before. He's incredibly good. I think he almost made it to the the finals last year, if I'm not mistaken. So, we do know that he's an incredibly experienced player. As we mentioned earlier, he has experience with both perfection mode, domination, and it seemed like he found a gap there to siege his capital. And I think when it comes to Polytopia, a lot of it is also reducing and just trying to crush your opponent's morale.
That was a lot of vitriol in that sentence there, my friend. You really felt that one.
I mean, when you capture an enemy's capital like that, first of all, you get the minus stars, right? Second, it's a signal like, I found a gap, cracked through you, and I got access to your village, So I think he's an incredibly skillful player.
As we've just seen.
So
I mean, let's see what that does to the bracket. Let's take a look at his name in the finals there. And there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Final.
There we go. Bossman is in the final. Now we still have to determine who he will be facing. Will it be Willy Bomb or will it be Livin McLovin? What a fantastic name that is. Now, I don't want to say I'm biased at all, but that's a fantastic name.
Yes.
Again, Livin McLovin did beat Liberator, who was in the finals. Willibomb goes 2-0 against TNI to go into the semifinals. So we're going to be in for a little bit of a treat today. We'll see that in a little bit, and then we'll see who's going to the final. Thank you very much for watching the first match. We're going to be back after a very short break with the second semifinals, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Whoa!
Okay, we have to talk about it.
He claimed his crown like flames, Living Boys!
Okay, we have to talk about it.
Claims his call like flames, Living Boy. August 1.
We're back. If you are just joining us, this is the qualifiers for the Polytopia World Championships 2026. We've already had one semi-final. It was a sweep. Big Dictator Bossman is in the finals, and we're about to find out who he's going to face. Darren, how you doing? Now you've had a chance to sort of calm down a little bit. You know, we've had 5 minutes to relax. Let's take a look at the bracket real quick. Livin McLovin versus Willibom. Do you know any of these players? Feel free to say no. I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm not that familiar with these players. I do know Le Liberté. You know, I remember I used to, I met him at the World Cup last year. He's a great guy, skillful player, which is why this is going to be so exciting, because Livin McLovin is a new name to me. And I don't know how familiar or well-known he is in this community, but for those that don't know him, this is going to be very interesting. It's similar to when Slimming Boy, an underdog, just comes in and sweeps the board with very known players who are also skillful. So this is going to be an exciting matchup. Big Dictator Bossman is a strong opponent, so let's see if he ends up there. But first we have Willibom, who he faces off with as well. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup for sure.
And it's worth mentioning that you at home, chaps, I mean, we're talking about unknowns. You could be that unknown. Qualifiers are still ongoing for the remaining tribes that we have available. So if you think that you could be that guy, if you think you have what it takes, then maybe we'll be talking about you in next year's edition. I think everyone's ready to get cracking. I'm excited to get going. Livin McLovin versus Willibom. Like you say, it's going to be a complete unknown for you.
Yeah,
we'll have to see. We're going to get going in just one moment, chaps. It is a best of 3, so whoever takes 2 games goes to the final. And of course, that also is going to be a best of 3. That individual who wins the finals is going to potentially go all the way to Stockholm if they can make it through the final 12 into the final 8. It's going to be, well, it's going to be an interesting time. Like, we were talking about pressure and how much it gets to them. Maybe the players are starting to feel it. And I think we're off. We are looking at Willibom in brown, Livin McLovin in green. Darren, tell me what I'm looking at.
So Willibom, both players, looks like they went for an upgrade early on their first round. We're currently in, well, both of them have 3 units at this point. This means that they're going for fast expansion here. Now, again, this is small lakes, everyone, and the game often becomes a race between expansion and control. So goes for the explorer, does not get the lighthouse. That is unfortunate, because he could have gotten the upgrade on his village next turn, which is utilizing his double hunting, which he just got the technology.
Oh, well, we'll see. We've got another explorer.
Meets 5 stars. Yeah.
Does he get it? Does get the lighthouse there?
Does get the lighthouse. You can see that he goes for the upgrade here, gets the stars, finds another village.
It's a nice little explorer there.
Now, for the players watching here, this is a very similar map layout to the previous game that we just saw. Both players start in the north, one on the west, one in the east. Question now is, who gets domination of the rest of the map? Who goes south first? And are there going to be any stalemates? It looks like there might be a village where the fog is in the north. So Willibom might discover...
Well, he doesn't know. Livin McLovin doesn't know where Willibom is.
Yeah, not
He
yet.
can guess, but he doesn't know.
But he does
Have to
find. So what might happen here? Is he going to send 2 units? Well, he knows
Units where?
the village that is up there. So McLovin has a unit in the fog of war. Willy Baum can't see that unit right now. He saw it earlier, so he does know that he has a unit there. So Willy Baum might actually send 1 unit up, and then yeah. So there's the fog there. So from Willy Baum's point of view here, again, he doesn't see that unit, but he knows he's there. So the correct play here would be to send 2 units north to try and create either a stalemate or siege that village.
Okay. All right, interesting. It's worth mentioning that this is the Kickoo qualifiers, chaps. If you're wondering why there aren't different tribes available, this is why we're trying to see who is the best Kickoo player in the world currently at in Polytopia. Let's see if McLovin finds his opponent on this turn. Like you say, so do you think that McLovin has an awareness of where Willy Baum is?
I think he does, because he knows. McLovin should know, due to the fact that he got an explorer that went southwest or southeast.
Mm-hmm.
So he should know that he's most likely very close. So I think he might go for an explorer here to gain some vision, to get some stars, and that is going to open up a lot of opportunities here. He's gonna it's going to be very interesting to see if he does. I would be surprised if he didn't.
Both these players are playing, like, they're making full use of their time, I think is the first thing to note. McLovin having an awareness of those villages in the south. Oh, there we go. Hello.
Explorer.
There's a little meeting. Now, where does this explorer go?
Goes
Ooh,
south.
doesn't quite get all the way up to the top.
Doesn't get the lighthouse. At the same time, this is great vision for McLovin here. It's always unfortunate to not get the lighthouse, but at the same time, this shows that he is quite restricted. Of course, Willy Baum can place a port and, quickly advance on the waters to gain more range. But did I just see, does he have archers? Did I miss that? So Willy
He took
Baum,
archery, yeah.
Willy Baum has archery. Oh, wow. Now,
How unusual is that?
for the players, again, I am not too familiar with these players. Archery is definitely an interesting play here. There is a lot of forest, so when you pick archery, you also get a defense bonus when you are on the forest tiles. So he's going to have defense bonus, and he's going to be able to easily defend that village that is up there.
Okay. So is that across all units he gets a defensive bonus in forest?
Yes. So for every single unit for every single unit that you have, you will get a defense bonus as long as you are on in a forest tile.
Well, I mean, all these cities are surrounded by forests, so that is. So why would you not take archery? Is it just that the stars are better spent elsewhere?
Well, that's the thing about playing small lakes, especially mirror tribes. Obviously, like we've already spoken about, you get tribe specialists, but small lakes can be a dangerous format, like I've said earlier, because greed can get punished
archery.
quickly. Yeah, so he goes for archery here to kind of counter that as well. But what can often happen is a player can make the correct long-term economic decision, but they can still lose if the opponent finds a better timing window, a better opportunity to attack more aggressive, right? So the fact that McLovin also went for archery here, I would say that's a decent play, because now he's going to at least be able to have a little bit of power to counter Willy Baum's archers. But mind you, Willy Baum has more archers at this stage, so he does have a little bit of an advantage.
Is that one step ahead potentially in the archer's terrain?
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly explain what? Because you said that it's a small lakes map, that it's mirrored tribes. Do you want to explain for the people at home what that means in terms of the setup of the game?
Yeah, so when it's mirrored tribes, that means that both players play the same tribe. There is no tribe matchup advantage here. So this really all comes down to spawn adaptation. It comes down to scouting. It comes down to economy, water controls, but most importantly, it comes down to clean tactics, right? There is no one advantage over another. For example, one player might be Vengir versus Kikoo. So when you're playing like this, a Vengir swordsman can't just, simply tap a mindbender, which is a special unit. So this is all about really tactical plays and spawn adaptation, right? How do players play around that? Which makes the game very interesting. Because it's a lot of skill involved. There's a lot of skill involved in games like this.
See, I also want to point something out here. We've been saying will I bomb, but it could also be will I bomb, as in like will I mess up? We're gonna have to. This is gonna be really embarrassing. Now, I don't want to be that guy, but if he doesn't make it to the finals, then we don't have to confront him about that. Well, at least he's not going to confront us about that in person. So we now have a vested interest to see him lose. So we'll see if Liv McLovin can pull this off for us. So then we don't have the awkward moment of announcing someone's name wrong. So let's see if he pulls out here.
I'm not sure if this is your subconscious mind being biased towards McLovin, since you mentioned earlier that you like that name, or if we're actually
maybe it is. Maybe I'm just fully giving in. Well,
you're like, I love McLovin.
Let's take stock. Let's take stock of the situation. Obviously, quite evenly matched at the moment. Who do you think has the edge as it stands right now at this sort of not quite midpoint, but around the midpoint of the match?
Well, we can take a look at the stats below, right? Willy Bomb currently has 14 stars, 1 unit down, 4 cities as opposed to the 3 that McLovin has, and no tribe has kills yet, right? So this is very early in the game. The question now is really who can actually gain the lead in terms of the fighting. And you can tell that both players are scared to engage. They don't want to go first because they know that they're just gonna, well, obviously the
defensive bonus.
Yeah. Both have defense. Right now, my thought process is, okay, well, if one of them moves in, obviously there is going to be a fight. The question then is, am I ready to fight? Yes or no? Right? Because if a fight erupts, both players now know I'm going to have to commit to this village. Whereas if we keep it like this is a classic stalemate. Both players know that if I don't move my units onto this village, then we're not gonna fight, and it's gonna give the players more time to build economy, to build up their villages. So this is.
It looks to me like they are both looking to also try and go south. I mean, McLovin has the vision on the south to know that there are those villages sort of lined up really nicely, but Mr. Bomb probably has an understanding of enough of the game to know that, well, this is the map type. There are going to be villages down there, but like you say, we're going to see a little bit of a cagey sort of start here. So. I don't know. It feels like they've dug trenches a little bit. They've drawn lines in the sand, but both taking archery. There's a slight edge for Mr. Bomb in terms of income, but again, not really much to split them. 4 cities to 3, though. That could be the deciding factor in the mid game. And like I said, both players taking their time. Both players sort of getting quite nice established mathematics being taken here, and it looks like he's going to try and get that lighthouse. Is it a lighthouse? What would you call the thing in the corner? Is it a lighthouse?
Yeah, that's called a lighthouse.
I should have backed myself.
So
giant! Hello.
He goes for a giant here, and he's gonna advance here. He's gonna attack. There we go. He's moving in. So McLovin is making the first offensive move here. So what's going to happen next now is it's all about trade-offs. And that's the cool thing in Polytopia is who can make the best trade-offs when it comes to fighting. right? So for example, a player might spend less units to kill more units, right? And these archers are great because they allow for the long range attack. And we know that an archer can hit a warrior without taking any retaliation damage. So he's moving in here.
Ooh, there we
He's
go.
killing. Okay, we got the first kill.
And now he's quite nicely entrenched in there. But that arch is probably going to take a little bit of damage. How much damage do archers do? Well, there you go. I was about to say how much damage do archers do in the forest. But thank you for the response.
Yeah, there we go. So archer in forest, 6.
Well, potentially he's pushing up because he sees that giant coming in and knows that he has to try and hold the terrain before that happens. Okay, you can tell me if I'm wrong, by the way. You don't have to. If you think I'm incorrect, just say.
No. If I think
You're too polite otherwise.
No, I'll let you know. So obviously McLovin has the rune there. He's gonna find a rune. He's gonna get the rune and the lighthouse in the next 2 turns. Next turn lighthouse, then rune. But both players have giants there, and again now it's just you can see that they're cleaning up units as well as they can. And it's looking like McLovin is...
Yeah, the dominant position, I think.
He is in a much better position here. So this is what I mean by trade-offs. He made some good trade-offs. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Willy Bomb did make the first offensive move.
He did. He fired... Well, no, I think it was McLovin fired over the mountain.
Oh, that's what it was, right? Okay.
And because that was the only tile that wasn't in sort of forest. And so you have to think McLovin does have the defensive advantage of just sort of sitting in the forest, which maybe triggered Mr. Bomb into pushing forwards. Now there's not as much on the front line. You think that I'm liking the look of that capital, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it looks quite nice this time of year.
He gets a giant.
Oh, another
there
giant.
as well. Yeah.
Do you think McLovin should push straight for the capital? 2 giants, superiority of units, 10-5.
Absolutely. In this position right here, the correct play is to just be aggressive. Willy Bomb is gonna have to fully focus on defense here. Willy Bomb is,
and yet he's pushing forwards.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, he knows that unit is not going to survive. His archers are going to pluck him off, so might as well.
Yeah. Ooh.
But he's okay. He's looking border growth. Okay.
Border growth. Is that?
So.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah. So he is trying to set up. Looks like a very good market spot for later.
That's bold, considering it doesn't look like that city's gonna last that long.
Yeah. So. This is really well-positioned sawmills. So he's going to get huge bonuses from his sawmills here.
Okay. Nice. And do you want to explain what makes the bonus so good and what he gets from that?
Yeah, so from the previous games, we know that when you place a market, you gain stars equivalent to the amount of level your sawmill is. So for example, here he has one that's 3, one that's 2. Now, if you were to place a market next to a sawmill that's 3, that only gives you 3. But if you're able to combine 2 sawmills, one market is going to get the benefit of 2 sawmills. And the reason why this is so good is because you can only place 1 sawmill, 1 windmill per village. So the placement does matter a lot, especially if you want to utilize the market value that you get. So he's able to place, he's going to get 3 markets with double sawmill bonus here, essentially.
Okay, nice.
A little bit of action.
So what's the play? If you're Mr. Bomb, what's the play?
If I'm Bomb here, Willy Bomb, in these situations, you have to think about, okay, well, how can I defend in the best possible way while also setting myself up for the, because we're moving into the mid game here, right? And early game, it's all about scouting, not wasting turns, finding villages, and maybe even committing to a certain amount of tech before your opponent. When we get to the mid game, now it's all about who is more threatening, right? Who is trying to threaten landings, deny landings when it comes to ocean? Who has first real timing attack? Who's building economy while the opponent build units, right? So there are all these questions here that come into play. But as we've seen, both players are very similar in terms of their technology and how they play. Both players have archery, forestry, mathematics at this stage. He got a swordsman there that is not the best. It's going to take a long time before that swordsman pays off. But he goes for
It's going to take him a while to get to
here.
that front line. Oh, he does. Yeah, you're correct. And
Look at
gets
that.
the village. Well, that evens out the city side of things.
Yeah.
Income in favor of Mr. Bomb here, but like you say, is very. I would say the only thing to split them here is the unit count currently. But Mr. Bomb has invested heavily in those sawmills, so you have to think the longer it goes on, the better it is for Mr. Bomb. And well, oh hello, here we go.
There we go. Got the
Now
lighthouse.
perhaps McLovin starts to see the amount of sawmills there and thinks, maybe I should push up a little bit. I mean, it's two giants to two giants, but those archers are going to be very useful in that regard.
Yeah. Now, this might be a little bit of a controversial take, but Willy Bomb's position, I would say, is actually a lot better than McLovin here. And the reason why is, first of all, market placement. He has more expansion towards the south there. I mean, the south, southeast. If he can hold off McLovin, Willy Bomb may actually stand a chance economy-wise, because he's going to be able to invest more in lakes, ocean troops, scouts, bombers potentially, kind of denying a lot of attack from McLovin here. So it's going to be interesting to see how soon McLovin can get his own markets live.
Well, that's a big difference in income, though.
Yeah, that's massive. It's almost double.
I'd also just like to take this moment to point out something someone said in the YouTube live stream chat. Now, obviously, there's a 10-minute delay to make sure that our players don't get any advantages. But Tribe of the Square said, I think I could probably win the World Championships, but I want to let everyone else have a chance this time. It's worth mentioning that you at home, if you think that, like Tribe of the Square, that you could do better, the sign-ups are open for the other tribes in terms of the qualifiers. So we could be talking about you in the next stream. You could be holding the title in your hands. So make sure to join the Discord. Make sure to sign up yourself. Put your money where your mouth is. And join the Instagram. There you go.
And the Discord.
Here we go, the markets.
Yeah.
There we go. I mean, look at the income now.
Yeah. Income is huge. And, McLovin knows that he needs to push. He really needs to push. And that's Willy Bomb here needs to defend. Because if McLovin pushes into that city right there, it's going to be very difficult for Willy Bomb to come back. He needs to keep those villages, especially since the markets are connected to those. So he can't lose the income. He is currently, up in terms of income. But I think McLovin, he knows he has to push here.
It seems like he's not turtling, but definitely, like you say, holding the defensive. Oh, a little bit of combat.
Yeah,
Trying to pick off some troops. I think there's a great little exchange there.
that was a good exchange.
Like you say, good equivalent exchange. I mean, the Giants are pushing up on that sort of northern front, giant to giant, and the unit counts are even. This is a very even game. Very, very even.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
No, it is even. But again, two different playing styles here, two different paths that players have to take here. I mean, McLovin, if he doesn't try and push and capture one of these cities, Willy Bomb is just going to be so far ahead of him because he's going to have so much more income to work with. He's almost double the amount of stars. Now, let's not underestimate the power of stars in Polytopia. The more stars you have, the more you can invest. And it's almost exponential. So McLovin either needs to capture those villages or he needs to get his own stars going rather quickly. So this could go either way still. It's too early to decide, but I'm not gonna place bets quite yet. Put it like that. What do you think? You think it's even?
You put me on the spot here because I couldn't split. I really couldn't split them. I think that, like you said, I think McLovin needs to push, but he does pull back.
Yeah.
He's in a better defensive spot, but he is the one that needs to be pushing the action. And I think that the longer this goes on, the more that's going to start to kick in. And I think that the quicker the longer that he takes to make his move, the less opportunity he'll have to make a measured move, and he'll have to push a little bit harder. Especially as, in my opinion, I think Mr. Bomb, yep, there we go, is starting to move units south, take more of those cities, extend that economic difference. However, maybe McLovin is waiting for that swordsman to get on the front line, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, the correct
Giant
play
has a
here,
defensive bonus as well. But yeah, sorry, the correct. What is it? What is the correct play?
the correct play, because McLovin went back. I'm not sure if that was the correct play. I think the question is, would he have been able to defend against that, right? But that's also an that's also an interesting thing here, because even if he was able to capture that village, Willibomb most likely would have been able to simply just push him off with a giant push. And there is a strategy in the game. This is actually quite cool. I hope we do get to see this. It's called a Houdini. Do you know what that is?
I remember eSpark talking to me about that, yeah.
Yeah. So Houdini is very simply where you... Oh my days, just this market. Before I explain this, let's just take a moment.
Did you see how I dodged that question, by the way?
Played very well.
I dodged it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Played it very well. Yeah, insane market value here.
Look at the income. You're pointing out the markets. Look at the income there. But please, the Houdini.
Yeah, the Houdini is essentially when you siege a village. If you then place units around the village. So, for example, that village up there, Cal, which is Willybomb's. If you were to siege that, all you had to do was put units. You had to surround the village, then pop a giant. What happens is the unit that is sieging, and especially if it's a giant, it disappears, and that would be a huge loss for the player that is sieging. So this is one of those plays that is very skillful, because I think when you're entering pro Polytopia players, these kind of leagues, they do look out for that. They are aware of Houdinis. They are aware of these traps that may happen. So the
1% of the Polytopia world, I think some are calling it. I love how polite you are.
Am I polite?
Yeah, you didn't call me out on that at all. Right, sailing. Let's see what he does with the boats here.
Give me a couple of streams and I'll start being a little bit more...
Well, chaps, you got something to tune in for. I think the players are starting to... Now, they are taking longer on their turns, but from what it seems to me, they are playing faster. Even though obviously each turn is taking longer, like you say, there's just more to do. A lot of riders. I'm liking this military build-up in the middle. I hope it's not a stalemate for sort of too long. I do like people pushing the action. But, I mean, that giant got pushed off, so he's on 21 health. You've got another giant that's sitting in the forest on 19. And he pulls back as well. I think this could be a little bit of poking. No one really wanting to commit and leave the safety of their forest.
Yeah.
How much... I mean, do you see any movement happening on that sort of front line, given that both of them have their defensive bonuses in the forests?
Well, I mean, obviously Willybomb is in a much greater spot due to his economy, like I've already mentioned. But any attack here is just going to lead into stalemates. Like they're not going to... They might start attacking, fighting each other. That battle right there is just going to take a very long time. So the game plan now is to see, is there a way we can sort of flank the opponent, right? To create an opening, to create a gap somewhere. This is a full-on, bulk of troops in the north middle there. So the question now is, who can gain better access to those southern villages and try and create an opening? But again, economy matters here. and both players are very even in terms of troops. However, when it comes to economy, Polytopia is ahead. And
I mean, there's a head and then there's this.
yes.
53 to 28. Do you mind just quickly taking me through it? So that giant has gone into the water and has now got shields on his back. Do you want to explain what the difference is between him on land and him in the sea?
Yeah, so when a giant enters the water, obviously, this was a change that happened in Polytopia, where giants before, they could turn into any ship. You know, so a lot of players used to have giants in the water and turn them into these bombers. Like we haven't seen any of those yet, but there was an update that turned giants into something called juggernauts. So when they enter the ocean, they create splash damage. When they move, they create splash damage, similar to the actual bombers, except they're physical. They're very close range. Also, when a giant lands, it also deals splash damage to surrounding units. So it's a very strong unit on the ocean, especially if you use it as protection. But you can also use it as offense. Like it's a very versatile ocean unit. So it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize, because both of them have giants on the water now. It's going to be interesting to see how they utilize this. Okay, so he goes there.
Little push. It'd be interesting to see who managed to secure the cities in the south. Like we see, McLovin does have more cities, but the income advantage for now is with Mr. Bomb. So you'd think the momentum, I mean, there's a little bit of combat happening over those villages down south. Mr. Bomb moving up, taking another village. I think it's very cagey. I mean, that's the best way I can simply I can simply describe that, really.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to notice is you're calling him Mr. Bomb now. You really don't want to offend him, do you?
Yeah, I really. Look, I've made a career of being right. I don't intend to start messing up now.
Yeah. Well, next time I'm going to call you out on the Houdini stuff or something similar if the chance comes up. We'll see if you're right then.
I mean, my last stream.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not, by the way. But yeah, let's see.
Organization.
Strategy.
That one. Organization strategy. What do they do?
So strategy is a great technology to go for, especially if you're going to do ocean warfare. So when you get strategy, it's cheaper than, first of all, it's 15 health. So they're a lot better than plain warriors because, again, more health. But also, they're cheaper and faster to unlock. Because if you want another 15 HP unit, you have to go for swordsman, right? So they're very accessible, they're cheaper, and they're great for naval warfare, and also just overall defense if you want to defend your cities. So the best play when it comes to these defenders is actually just to use them as rammers, really. Ideally, just scouts as well, but frontline defenders, great play. And I also just want to point out one other thing here. Look at the difference in market placement, right? Willy Bomb apparently has great perception of the map here, because this is a level of skill that is actually, not really highlighted enough. But when you're playing live games like this, the ability to look at where you should place your markets and your sawmills is not talked about enough. You look at McLovin, his marketplaces are not the most optimal as of now. So it's going to be.
He has caught up in income a little bit, but like you say, it's going to be those little details that do split players.
Yeah.
We'll see if it's enough. Another city's taken down south.
It's capital growth.
Oh, is he? Take another. Won't take the city.
Yeah, he goes.
There we go. Pop straight on there.
Using a warrior, he can defend that.
He should be able to.
Yeah. Gets navigation, gets a bomber. Look at that. And there we see.
All right. Well, let's. I mean, you seem very excited about the bomber. He's lived up to his name, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Will I bomb? Yes, yes, he will. I think he will.
Will I bomb? I will. He did bomb, indeed.
It's a rhetorical question in his own username as another giant pulls up. Was that 3 in the center? He's got 3 giants in the center. He has 1 in the water. He's got a bomber.
And
I mean, he definitely has the edge. Maybe McLovin should have pushed earlier. We'll see if that was a mistake not to.
yeah, because what's happening now is Will I bomb is going to have a much stronger naval/lake presence, meaning that he's going to have a huge advantage. He's going to control. Actually, at this, I take it back. He's controlling the lakes right now. It's going to be incredibly hard for McLovin to come back from this. But this is what's interesting, though. There is always a possibility, right? But let's not forget it's very hard. So,
well, you could also argue the more troops you have, obviously the better placed you are. But the more I find, the more options that you have, the more likely you are to pick a wrong option, you know? If there's a good option, a bad option, pick the good one. If there's 6 good ones, that can kind of get a little bit more obfuscated. And yeah, he's very much in control of the water, and we'll start to see him presumably push. There we go. Giant pushes up on that front. McLovin has to do something. Let's not buy any words about it. McLovin has to do something. Am I incorrect in saying that he is definitely on the back foot now?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, McLovin definitely needs something here because Willy Bomb, yeah, there we go. He resigns.
Well, there we go.
Yes, he resigns. That's
he definitely needs something, and well, the resign button was apparently the thing he needed. And to be clear, his name, Willy Bomb, Will I Bomb? No. He neither failed nor did he launch an attack. He didn't get to.
Yeah, well, he was able to bomb once, which you know.
He bombed once.
Yeah, he uses bomber on that giant once.
Look, I think that's grounds for disqualification personally, but hey. I'll do whatever I can to get us back for the final. Well, there we go, chaps. That is the first game done. Let's not forget this is a best of 3, so McLovin can come back. If he engages in a reverse sweep, then he will be the person to play against Bossman, who, by the way, interestingly, and I do want to highlight this, Bossman's been watching the stream right now. He's been analyzing his opponents, seeing how they play, seeing what they can do, and it's been interesting to sort of read what he's been saying. So he is in the chat, and again, if I'm playing, that's exactly what I'm doing. You're getting a free read on your opponents. You know, it's pretty obvious. What are your thoughts on that game?
First of all, I just want to say, Bossman, you're doing the right thing, buddy. Like, keep analyzing your opponents because that is good. This game was, early game was very interesting because both players, very similar positions. I think, if I'm not mistaken, McLovin was always 1 tech behind, but they always went equal tech, right? So they go for hunting, they go for forestry, they go for archery. McLovin goes, archery as well. They go for sawmills, right? So they or mathematics. So they really, kind of went back to back on technology. The true difference came when McLovin or Willy Bomb went for those markets. As soon as he got those markets, the tides shifted because he just got that advantage. He just completely exponentially scaled, and we saw that with the technology that I was able to buy, the bombers, and just that lead. And that's really what it comes down to.
It felt like he didn't really lose that lead either.
No, he kept it. And he was winning both materially, but also positionally, right? Like he had the more expensive units. He got the defenders live. So overall, he was just in a much better spot. So it's interesting, though. We'll see how this resolves in the second game. I'm curious if McLovin is going to be a little bit more thoughtful about his economy, considering that he must have known that is what cost him that game.
Absolutely, it's an interesting thing you bring up because we're going to say this time and time again, and we'll always say it because it's a very, very important factor, which is one of mentality. How can you come back from a loss? Do you make better decisions? Do you learn, like you say, do you learn from your mistakes? Do you start focusing on the economy more? Do you look at your game really quickly? With the shorter turnaround, maybe it just goes straight to your head. You think, oh no, I have to do something dramatic, I have to do something drastic. You know, maybe a player gets overconfident if they win. Maybe Mr. Bomb sits back and goes, I'm already one up. Let me just, you know, take it casually.
Yes.
It really is a mentality game. That's actually something we saw in the grand finals, the actual live grand finals, because players would kind of feel a little bit off, a little bit cagey. Some players were completely at home in that environment, which frankly is odd, given that there's a room full of people cheering everything that you do. It's worth talking about as part of the mentality game. So we'll see in a moment if McLovin can get a strong start, can claw it back. But again, these mistakes in your mind, they start to compound a little bit. You make one mistake, then you desperately make another one. And we get straight back into the second game. McLovin is in white, Mr. Bomb in green. And let's see if he's a McLovin of the start.
Right, so both players here move center. Mr. Bomb, Willy Bomb, finds a village here, goes for that. He's going to go north, probably go for that lighthouse. And both players are going to be meeting each other relatively soon. It looks like both of them also went for tier, if I'm not mistaken, they went for upgrades. Yeah, they did. Let's see, 1, 2, Willy Bomb did. I think McLovin as well. Yeah.
Well, what do you do in this environment? You're looking at Mr. Bomb's start. Where do you go?
So for Willy Bomb right here, he does find the village and the lighthouse. I mean, he's moving towards the lighthouse, but does find the village there. Question now is, does he move that second troop down? I would probably do it, and then, yeah, so he moved that down. McLovin makes some moves here. He's trying to expand. He's trying to figure out where to position his units. He knows that the chances of there being a village in the south there are low towards that lighthouse. There is a possibility. Gets the explorer here. That's actually really good.
Oh, does
and
get
the lighthouse.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Gets the upgrade here.
This is going to be another one where it's just going to be chucking troops in the middle to try and hold it.
So, yeah, now it's just all about how does McLovin come back from this? Because going back to what you just said, Leif, I mean, there is pressure. You know, these players know that if I lose, especially for McLovin, if he loses, he's out. So there is a level of pressure here, and it's all about staying calm, staying focused on the game. You know, mistakes cost you a lot. Willy Bum does have the lead here. I hope he doesn't slack. I don't think he will. But
we've got 2 cities to 2, but who do you think is in a better position? This seems, to my untrained eye, a pretty even start. I don't know, maybe if I'm reaching to say that. What do you think?
I think from both perspectives, they have good openers. I mean, a little bit unlucky there by McLovin not finding anything more. Hopefully he can, but he goes for riding, so it looks like, you know, it's a very narrow gap. You know, it looks to be like a straight line in the center there, right?
We're forestry on Mr. Bomb's side of things as well.
Going for forestry here. Willy Bomb does like forestry. So he's.
Well, it's worth discussing because, like, you do. I'm just going to bring this up now. How flexible do you think these players need to be with their strategies when it comes to, if you have like an ideal setup? Like, what are the changing? What are you looking for as a player when you launch into this? What's going to make you think, oh, I need to change my strategy? I have to take archers. I have to take forestry.
It's a great question, man. Like, it really depends on, obviously, the tribe that you play, but also your opponent and the vision that you have. So, for example, if you know that you're playing in maps like continents, most of the time, you're going to be playing more economically, right? On small lakes, there is a fine line, like we're talking grains here, of difference between aggressive and economy, because when you go on the water, or even when you launch an attack, if your opponent is slightly behind and just doesn't have that defense, they're going to capture an essential village, and that might change the game just like that. So it really comes down to that early game, you know, who goes aggressive, who goes economical, and what does the other player do as well. Because if your opponent goes incredibly aggressive and you not, you know, that's an advantage for your opponent.
Ooh, doesn't quite get the lighthouse there.
But this is interesting.
Oh!
Look at that. Yeah, look at that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's done. It's
I saw it.
already done.
I saw it.
Mr. Bomb, 2-0. It's
I
over.
saw it. I am surprised, actually.
What a shock.
I'm a little bit shocked. Yeah, because McLovin definitely it's not like he was too far behind. You know?
He's thrown in the towel. We were talking about mentality, and that's
Yeah.
gone. I mean, look, you're completely shocked.
I'm actually shocked here because, like, if you think about it, McLovin, he wasn't in the worst position. He did have the riders. He could have, you know, expanded a little bit further up, secured that one village.
That's
been
so
in a good
early.
position. Okay, I wonder.
With everything on the line, that's it. 2-0. Mr. Bomb goes to the final, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to say his name if he wins. Oh wait, hang on. Are we wrong? I'm getting word that maybe we were wrong. I don't think we were.
Oh,
Who resigned there?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Did we get it wrong?
I mean, I was surprised to see McLovin. That's why I'm shook. You know, because. Yeah.
Hang on, we're getting reports here. Let's figure out who resigned before we announce the thing. There we go. It's 1-1.
It's 1-1.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
There we go.
There we go. I'll take it on the chin now. I was wrong.
There we go.
That's why I was so early. I wasn't ready for it.
It just did not make sense. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why would McLovin resign? Because he had that northern village. He was not gonna. Willy Bomb was not gonna secure that other village. He was safe.
1-1. 1-1. I mean, either way, very, very early. 1-1, and we're going into the final match of the semis.
This is gonna be exciting.
Man, that was
this is gonna
so
be very
early.
exciting. This is yeah. This is
Now I like to think he did it on purpose. He was like, you know what? I'm throwing in the game. I don't need to. I don't need the safety. I'm gonna go to 2. I'm gonna win 2 either way. Pure aura farming there, I think.
This is
that was quite early. Well, we're gonna go to the final match to determine who's gonna go to the final here. Okay, well let's have a quick chat about your thoughts once they get ready for the next final.
Well, I mean, for starters, when it's 1-1, the pressure is insanely high, right? So. From a position like this, both players know that they have to perform, they have to be at their top game, they have to be focused. You know, they got a couple of minutes now to probably go bathroom, get themselves an energy drink, you know, just increase their senses and be sharp. But like we've seen, this was spawn. Okay,
yeah,
here we go.
It was spawn and they spawn in now. Let's see.
All right, so Willy Bomb in the south, McLovin in the north. Oh. He's in the west. Okay, this is interesting.
What are your thoughts?
Finds a village here. And that is actually a great village. That is a huge village for McLovin. Look at the fish. Just look at those fishes. He's gonna be well fed for a while, and great access to. To the ocean there.
All right. What do you think of the alternative start, Mr. Bomb?
So Willy Bomb here, obviously that mountain placement is a little bit annoying for Willy Bomb here. A little bit unfortunate. Goes for the Explorer here.
Explorer. Doesn't get. Yeah,
Okay.
he doesn't get it.
So this is very good information here from McLovin, despite not getting that lighthouse. This is great information. He knows that he's not in the north. He knows that he might be in the south, towards the southern lighthouse, or the southwest. So this changes how the player plays as well. But from what I'm seeing right now, McLovin is having a slightly better start.
Slightly better. I mean, again, Mr. Bum resigned last time. Maybe we'll see a resignation early in this one.
I think when you're in the last game like this, a resignation is only if it's a must. If there's no way you can come back, or if you see that it's a clearly losing position. But mind you, players like this at this level, they also count score, right?
Right. Yes, of course. In fact, I want to point something out in the run up in the warm up games to the grand final. I walked into this room and all the players, particularly Arthur, were like, the constant flickering was horrible because they're constantly checking the score. I was like, why are you always going to the menu? They're always checking the score. Do you want to explain why they would check the score?
Yeah, so the score just gives so much useful information, right? It might actually highlight where an opponent starts if they start close to a lighthouse. So if you see on turn 1, they get that extra population, because population gives you points, right? So for every single point that a person gets, that is information for the other player. So a player might buy some technology, tier 2, tier 3 technology, which gives an extra 200 points, an extra 300 points. That gives you an indicator of how much further ahead your opponent is as opposed to you. Also, capturing villages gives you points. So this is all just useful information that gives you an idea of how well you are doing and how far behind you are. And some players may find that dissuading. They might be like, oh, my opponent is way ahead of me. I am lost, right? Even though they can't see what their opponent has, which is why they do it. They
I mean, I was watching Arthur and Meisterlab. They were like constantly mashing it because they see this update in score and they already know, like you say, automatically what that translates to, and so they're getting that information that way, which is, again, that's sort of a different level. But we have 4 cities to 2 here. USA McLovin in an initially better position, gets the Explorer. Doesn't get much with that Explorer. Okay, so let's say you're in McLovin's position. Where do you go from here?
So McLovin here just needs to expand. That's what I would do. I would try and get, because he has a lot faster control of the ocean here. He needs to start, capturing villages while at the same time trying to figure out how can I push my economy and set myself up for markets should Willy Bomb catch up, right? So it's a calculation they're going to have to make. But from what I've seen, so we know that Willy Bomb doesn't have. Yeah, there we go. He meets him, gets 7 stars. McLovin is gonna see him next turn as well. And again, McLovin just needs to expand. Willy Bomb, he needs to get on the ocean here as well. His capital does have access, but it's very tight. Very tight here.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of similar rumblings, I'd say, from both players. We'll see who comes out on top this time. Income slightly bigger for McLovin, like you say, slightly better opening position. How do you? Okay, so let's say you're Mr. Bomb here. How are you pushing up? How are you closing that gap?
What he needs to do is he needs to secure that one village up there. If he doesn't get access to that one village right at the little center there in the middle, he's going to be in a very tough spot, because the fact that McLovin now already has multiple units on the ocean gives him a great advantage, because he can easily move into scouts and pick these warriors and scouts from that village, right? So he could create a stalemate. So he needs to somehow think about economy here, and he has a decent sawmill setup. Not the best, but it's okay. Not the best market though, because he's only gonna get 1 unless he border growths. He might do it on the opposite side there, but it's points wise, obviously McLovin is favored at this stage.
I'm favored quite heavily.
Yeah, but again, he has 2 runes here. Lands on that village. So the question now is, how does he move from here in terms of technology and expansion? Doesn't go for the Explorer here. That's interesting. Chops, okay. Goes for the bridge. See, this is one of these plays.
Old.
This is one of these plays that separate really good players from lesser skilled players. It's making.
I have a
these...
name, mate, but yeah.
What would you call them? Come on, say it.
Late, that's what I call myself. Sorry, carry on.
No. Yeah, there we go. He got the scout. Is he gonna knock him? Oh, he knocks him off the village. That's what I was. Yeah.
There we go. So why is the bridge a bold play?
So the bridge is a bold play because obviously Willy Bomb knows his opponent is in the top, left. Going for that bridge might give him better expansion, faster expansion. Hopefully he secures some villages up there. The only unlucky thing here is, of course, those scouts. Those scouts can keep knocking units off of that village. Oh, there we go. Resigns.
And there
McLovin.
we go. All right, now I'll make sure there.
McLovin just
Mr.
won.
Bomb resigns.
Yeah.
And McLovin does win. We have ourselves a final.
Yes, we
Damn,
do.
a reverse sweep back-to-back, very early resignations from Mr. Bomb. I guess he just knows what he can and can't do. No more confusion about his name, for me at least. Livin McLovin does go through to the final and will face off against big dictator Bossman. Okay, well, take me through that. What? Go for it.
I mean, again, this is all moral, right? He got knocked off of that village. He knew that even if he wanted to go for that ruin up there, he knew that he had 2 scouts, so he could have also knocked him off that ruin. And from this position, yeah, it's going to become very hard to come back. And this is kind of like the decision that players need to make. How hard am I willing to fight? How hard am I willing to kind of keep going? There were a couple of plays last year, I remember in the playoffs, that just dragged on. Both players were just at a stalemate. One player was a little bit behind, was able to catch up slightly. So it is possible, but in Polytopia, early game matters a lot. And this is why Fog of War is so interesting. Because when you don't know what's happening on the other side and all of a sudden you get popped with some scouts, you're like, mother, So,
what's going on that side of this? I've got a couple of horses. This man has a fully fledged navy. Well,
yeah.
Like you say, it is Polytopia, and in this case, McLovin goes for a reverse sweep to secure himself a position in the final against Mr. Dictator Boss. Someone that you know, someone that you don't. What do you think? Having seen how McLovin plays?
So seeing McLovin, I mean, he is playing, I thought back to that first game, because one of the things that I criticized McLovin on was his market placement. But at the same time, when I think back to that one game against the first game against Willy Bomb, one of the disadvantages that he had was mountain spots. He had a couple of mountains. If I remember correctly, there was a water port there as well. So it's like, in the moment, there might be things that you oversee, but then you think back to them, you're like, could he have played this better? And, now that I think back to it, I think he played the best he could. And Willy Bomb, maybe he's like, I'm going to go with a little bit of an unserious taker. Willy Bomb might have thought, if I can't get bombs up, I'm going to concede, right? But I think that McLovin played very well early game, and I'm going to be so bold as to say that his spawn was slightly better, which does matter.
Okay.
In this, at least in the last game. In the second game, Willy Bomb was unlucky. I think that McLovin did make a good play because he went for riders, and riders gave him access. If you remember back, he hit, and then he went up, and then he was very close to that other village. and then he also had a warrior on another village again. So he didn't, siege the village, but he was right next to it. But then he was sieging with one warrior, and a Willy bomb, he couldn't punch him off. So he knew that.
And that was it.
Yeah, he knew that if he captures those, he's going to have me basically cornered in, and I can't come back from that. So I understand why he resigned.
I understand.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, I mean, it was an impactful one, and we had then a very quick game after that. And there, chaps, we see the semi-finals concluded. In just a moment, we're going to have a final of Livin McLovin versus Big Dictator Bossman. It's also going to be a best of 3. We're going to take a short break, and we will see you to decide who's going to be the representative for the Kikoo tribe. See you in a bit.
Whoa!
Okay, we have to talk about
He
it.
claims his crown like flames, Living Boy! I'll be squad! Stay with me!
If you're just joining us, you need to start questioning your life priorities because we are about to go into the final to decide on who is going to represent the Kikoo tribe in the grand finals. We've had two very competitive semi-finals, but now we go straight to the finals. Living McLovin versus Big Dictator Bossman. They're going to go head to head in a best of three to decide the representative of the Kikoo tribe. And who knows, we could be meeting them in person in Stockholm. The game is going to get started very, very soon. This is the tribe that they are going to be using today. Darren, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. This is very exciting. You got two strong players here, Big Dictator Bossman, as well as McLovin here. So both of them have shown good merit here. So it's going to be very exciting to see how they face off in this final 3 games that we're going to have here.
Well, it could be too. If someone does a little sweep, you're anticipating a bit of back and forth. It sounds like.
Well, I mean, when you're playing like this is there is that level of I want to win. So even if one player loses, I don't think the other is going to back down very easily. Which is why I think most likely either if I had to put my money on something, I'll put it like this. I'll say three games.
3 games, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm betting on 2. I think
you're betting on 2. All right, what are we betting
100%.
on? What are we betting
100%. Well, you tell you what, we'll have to bet on the plants. That's what we're betting on.
I'm done with that.
By the end of this, I may not have a forest anymore. All right, in just a second, we are going to be getting going, chaps. And I will say from now, if you think you can do better, if you think you can book your ticket to the grand final, make sure to join the Discord and go for one of the qualifiers. We're getting into the final. Take me through it.
We are live. So both players here, again, starting on tier 0 upgrades, 4 stars, 2 units at this stage. Looking like Bossman got that early, he got that early lighthouse. So if McLovin actually, does the math here, he can see that. Both of them have a village here, if I'm not mistaken. Well, McLovin for sure. Spawn-wise, this is what's interesting. Okay, hold on. He went for the ocean.
What's his logic, do you think?
Yeah, well, his logic is fast expansion here. And also he knows that he can easily connect both of these. So if he goes for another port here, he's going to get that additional... He has great port access. Amazing port access. Okay, this is that is a strong start for McLovin here.
It's worth saying that McLovin is going to be warmed up, having just played recently. However, on the flip side, Bossman has had the opportunity to watch how McLovin plays. He can see the tape right in front of him and was watching live at the same time. We are obviously operating on a 10-minute delay, so now the player is going to get an advantage from watching the stream at this point, but doing a little bit of work on your opponent's never a bad thing. Now we have 2 cities to Bossman's 1. More, I mean, you were talking about how important Fog of War is early game. What are you thinking about this now?
Well, this is very interesting because McLovin is going to go back for that lighthouse, and he gets 6 stars per turn. So he didn't have enough for the port, most likely, which is why he didn't go for that play and then rush the ruin. Instead, he seemed to have only spent 2, which means he's going to have 10 stars next turn, setting him up for port access and also an upgrade if he goes for an additional port. Now, you take the other point of view here. Big Bossman is getting that southern lighthouse, gets great vision. He is still unsure which side McLovin is on. Both of them are most likely unsure which side they're on because
yeah, they're just not going to know it. Again, we're going to see. I mean, I think McLovin can get an educated guess here. Oh, hang on, he's going to figure out for sure here. Hello. And there he goes. He sees it. Oh, that's very nice vision. Doesn't quite get any lighthouses there, but obviously you can see his opponent now. What do you think of that?
That was a great explorer. That was an amazing explorer. He got full vision of Bossman. McLovin needs to kind of cut him off as fast as he possibly can, or that would be the correct play. So Bossman is 1, 2, 3 units away from moves away from getting onto that one village. And I'm actually quite surprised that he didn't go for... Ah, no, I get it, because there might be a village there. So
Okay, talk me through it. You're half sentenced in here, Chief.
I'm sorry.
I'm not keeping up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So one of the things that he did there is instead of going on the port, he went towards the east there, hopefully trying to find a village. But there he is.
Explorer. There we go. So he'll figure it out now. There you go.
Does not
That's good.
get the lighthouse.
No, and it doubled back, so that's not great.
But he does see the village there.
Yeah, that sentence can be quite contested.
So
I think it's going to come down to the sea axis that we were talking about.
yeah. So this is that village right there is a very important village for both players. So both of them really want that village.
It's like a port in Lenono.
Gets another port. Oh, that's good. Getting a lot of stars here.
I mean, the points are very even. The income is even. Both have 3 cities. How are you splitting them right now? Whose controller would you prefer to pick up?
Honestly, probably McLovin here.
Okay.
McLovin does have those 2 ruins. He's just faster on the water. And he's looking like he is in a better position to defend that one city in the middle there. Because think about this. If McLovin captures that middle city in between both players, he's going to have direct access to the ocean. He's going to control that side of the ocean, which is directly in Bossman's territory. So Bossman really needs to secure that village as fast as possible. So if he's smart, what he does here is he positions that one unit close so he can use his raft to siege. And then hopefully pray that McLovin is not rich enough to go for scouts plus the technology scouts and then knock him off. But we'll see. The tides may shift.
This one feels measured. I'll be honest, it feels measured. I don't think. Can you point to anything that either of them have done like that's quite clearly mistake, not indicative of strategy? Because I'm not seeing anything.
Well, both players are the only thing you might criticize is the turn 1 delay by Bossman, which he went for the lighthouse. But at the same time, it's not always a bad play. But the thing is, if you cannot, he was able to upgrade his city and go for a warrior, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I haven't seen any obvious, very clear mistakes here. But it's interesting to see that Bossman did not prioritize the village. Instead, he's trying to expand, and also he got the first giant here.
Yeah, we see a giant on the board, potentially trying to flip it. I don't know. I mean, I think that village in the middle is going to be very contested. It did seem to me like McLevin was going to make a play for it, and that might have triggered Bossman to get that giant. You think he's going to use it to push straight there, or
if I were,
you think he's going to hold it in reserve?
If I were him, I would definitely go for that village right there, because again, both players are going to have a huge advantage if they lock that down. It just gives instant. It's like, hey neighbor, I'm right here. So
neighbor's a little strong of a word, I think, for what they're trying to do to each other. We'll stick with it for now. There's been no hostilities. I think also both players are. If you see, obviously, look, we can't tell what they're thinking. We can guess at it. We can only see their actions. But what the length of time between their actions taking it, and I point it out just there, is that Bossman waits a while, then ends turn. Does something, waits, then ends turn. So there's a lot. I mean, we're seeing it right now. We're seeing this pause. In both of their strategies to sort of see what am I going to do now.
Yes, they're definitely thinking. And I just want to highlight the 2 runes that McLovin just got. He just got strategy and writing for free.
Okay.
Strategy.
And he got that from the ruins, sorry. Yes.
From the runes, yeah. So that he got those for free, which is huge. So right now, if he wanted to, he could create some very strong defense as well as water tribe units, right? He could create some defenders, put them on an ocean, and use that to kind of punish his opponent. In terms of expansion, he is behind. Well, he is in a similar position to Bossman, but Bossman also has the giant, right? So if McLovin doesn't prioritize a giant here,
You think Bossman's just going to sort of march forwards?
he's for sure gonna get that village. Okay, there we go.
Farming.
Goes for farming.
Okay. And
Yeah, he's gonna go for a. There we go. Gets his giant. That's
let's
what
see
I was
it.
thinking.
All right. It's going to be contested. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be the water. I think in the immediate future, I think Bossman's going to hold the advantage. But the second that McLovin starts to control the space a little bit more, we might see things tip more in his favor. Oh, having said that, a giant in the water's quite nifty, and sailing.
gets
It's like he's
sailing.
listening, trying to prove me wrong. All right, I see how that works. Sure, no worries.
Yeah.
To get me fired by the end of the stream.
Well, the thing about
See, both players cagey.
these, the thing about these maps, man, like small map, it really means that mistakes they convert very quickly. So if someone makes a mistake, it's gonna show fast. But both players have decent water access. Both players have similar amount of units on the water. They both got giants live right now. But Bossman, he's got the scouts. So he can actually start poaching McLovin here.
Do you want to explain what the scouts are?
Yeah, so scouts are essentially a type of unit that you can upgrade to once another unit is on the water. So for example, he has 4 of these warriors. He can then upgrade one of these from a raft, which it currently is, and raft don't have any attack. You can just move with them. And they're also restricted in their movement to 2 tiles. And if you don't have sailing, which is a technology, you don't have ocean access. An ocean axis and lake axis is separated by the color of the ocean. So for example, one of them is light blue, the other is dark blue. Dark blue is ocean, light blue is lakes. So you can see his rafts can easily move there. But if you don't have lakes or scouts, you can move on the ocean. And so the scouts, when you upgrade towards those, gives you a little bit of how should I explain this? It's a 10-10 or 15-15. It's essentially a unit that lets you attack from a distance. Squishy unit, squishy water unit.
Okay.
But the scout also gives you vision. So it's similar to a, we'll maybe see that at some point.
It hints to the name, no?
Yeah.
Hey, scouts.
They're scouts.
Oh, there we go. You were right. Starts to defend that. I mean, he couldn't see that village, to be clear.
There we see the scout. You can see how they
Good
work,
stuff.
boom, and pops him off there. Now, McLovin is most likely going to take a little bit of a moral beating here. He's like, oh, losing cities is never fun. But at the same time, I don't think any of these players are going to give up very easily.
No, I don't think so. I will say, people were talking about Ramdingler, who was a no-show and wasn't in the semifinals. He lost. He was swept in the quarters by not showing up. But he will be competing in other qualifiers, as you can too at home. If you think you could do better, pull up. The qualifiers are ongoing. The sign-ups are live for for next week, which I think is the Yadak tribe next week. Those qualifiers, and of course, if you want to watch live, as Darren can attest to, it's a good old time as well. So make sure you go and get your ticket today if that's something you're interested in. Now, talk to me about this giant that sort of the juggernaut now it's been transformed into, meandering around in the lake.
Yes. Obviously, the juggernauts are a powerful unit. It's going to look like Bossman is most likely going to get onto that village before McLovin gets to it. But at the same time, those 2 giants are definitely going to apply some pressure. So if McLovin decides to, he could try and prevent Bossman from keeping that village for an extended period of time. Bossman has a vision, so whether he recognizes that or not is going to be very interesting to see. For example, now he's deciding, am I going to move my giant onto that village? Because he does have access. He can move, the giant can go onto that village. He's just debating, am I able to hold this?
Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
It's like the, you know, on the edge of your seat, kind of like.
Yeah, I know.
You know? So
we know he's going to do something.
You know?
Go on, move it. Do it. Do it. Be aggressive. I love seeing the aggressive plays.
It's a risky play for sure.
Oh, come on.
But he needs to do the
He
math
really
here.
is.
Yeah,
He's moved around.
He decided not, because he figured out, like, I'm not able to hold that.
No, I think so. But neither one of them feel like they can hold it. I think the scouts are going to help him out in this early game, like you're saying, because he can start peppering it. But 2 giants to 1, a little bit tricky. To contend with.
So I would actually
fighting
argue
retreat might have to be played.
that McLovin here is also in a little bit of a better position to siege that village and maybe even hold it, because of the 2 giants that he has. So Bossman definitely needs to get a giant live, another one, kind of compete, or he needs to get more units to kind of push against that. But this is going to be one of those games that might actually drag on, just from the looks of it. And I don't say drag on in a negative sense, but
I heard you panic. You're fine. I think the audience is going to... Again, people are watching this because they liked Polytopia. I think a drawn-out struggle is probably going to be enjoyable to the audience. I don't think you need to clarify. Now, do you want to... For those people who might be more casual, how does one get a giant?
So the simple explanation is you just need to invest enough in your capital. Now you can do that by upgrading technology. You see that, for example, McLovin here, he has farming, he's got organization, he doesn't have hunting, interestingly, but there is a clean farm that he still hasn't gotten in his capital, which means he can invest 5 stars, gain 2 population, and once you get population, you're going to see that. Most likely we're going to be able to see that right now. No, he's going to go for the... Okay. So population are the blue little dots inside the village there. Now, when that reaches its max, you get a giant. And the first giant you get is on... after you get up to 5. You need, level 5.
Oh!
Okay.
He's moved moved to the other village.
Interesting.
To try and hold that one instead.
He knows he can't hold that other village.
Yeah. A pure naval battle today, it would seem.
He's
Thematically appropriate, perhaps.
Yeah. He's lining up for a lot of scouts here, so he knows that he can poke. And McLovin did something interesting here, as you saw. He went for the rammers.
Do you want to explain what they do?
Yeah, the rammers are really a direct counter to scouts if you don't have any defense to defend the scouts, because rammers one-shot the 10 HP scouts. Different type of water unit. This unit cannot attack with range. You have to be right next to it in order to attack it, and it deals a little bit more damage as well. The rammers are great for offensive plays and just straight up dogfighting. Get up nice and close, and you hit your opponent.
Just crash them.
And I will also say, a rammer is very effective against juggernauts. And the reason why is because they deal a lot of damage, and the juggernaut cannot retaliate.
Ooh! A little bit of combat down there.
Look at that.
There's one rammer down.
Is he gonna... Oh, look at that.
Not quite.
So he wants to prevent him from getting that. He goes for sailing here.
That giant's already down to half.
Yeah, he's gonna poke him down.
Having said that, you seen this in the east here, the sort of the lineup of the warriors.
Yeah. So he's.
I think perhaps maybe it's a little bit of a distraction. I mean, he's also discovered ramming, so he's definitely going to be putting some forces on the sea. But that's a lot of warriors that sort of just do nothing with. I think maybe he's going to push up with them. You think?
Well, he's keeping them there as defense, right? I mean, if he only had 2 warriors, let's say, for defense, 1 attack, 1 bomber, 1 sneaky rider, like we saw with one of the earlier games today, could siege that village. And if he doesn't have a way to unsiege, yeah, he's lost it. His scouts cannot, well, Bossman's scouts can't reach that east village where his 4 warriors are lined up. So he has to, he needs a wall of defense there with warriors.
I will say I like the flip into the rammers and positioning them as they are. He's able to do a lot of damage to that Juggernaut, a very powerful unit in its own right, and the Juggernaut's not been able to do anything back. He does have more of a firm control over the seas. Again, earlier I said McLovin would have a firmer control of the seas, but it does seem like it's flipping in favor of Bossman, who also has a higher income, almost double the amount of units, more cities. And
also more
yeah,
crews.
I mean, we were saying earlier, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that McLovin did have the momentum with him, but it seems to have shifted against him now.
He did indeed. The question now is, how does he play from here? So he's obviously going to get this village. It seems like he'll want to deny that village. That would be the correct play. I mean, denying villages is really the best thing you can do. And the reason why is because once you have a village, it takes 2 turns to siege, right? Because one of them, you have to land on it, and then it passes to the opponent. And then that next turn again, that's when you can siege, right? So it's quite an investment. But here he goes, he's able to unsiege. And that's going to give McLovin some fighting here.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we favor Bossman's position. However, that's a nice little attack there, isn't it? A little in and out. But
yeah,
McLovin does take the city as well, Lolu.
So here we see he's getting his upgrades in, passing back to Bossman now. Now, he just got a ruin there. It looks like that was a swordsman in the south. Goes for a couple of rammers, re-sieges that. So he takes control back. And this is actually very well played by Bossman. So one of the things that we haven't really spoken about is the way he baited. And I actually need to double check with McLovin's point of view if he did see all of those warriors in the back. Because Bossman is slowly getting control of the ocean now, of the lakes, which is putting McLovin in a very tight spot.
Friend, you say getting control, but I'm seeing a navy versus not a navy.
Well, you are correct there, my friend.
There is no navy.
His navy
has gotten
demolished.
Control. Yeah, I think there is no more navy. Okay, I mean that puts still the momentum is with Bossman. That is a giant that McLovin does have. The Bossman's going to have to deal with, but again, with all the little scouts and everything, he can just keep poking at that all day.
So this was.
This is a great match, to be honest. This is a great match. I think both of them are doing well, but again, 22 units to 8. What do you think McLovin has to do here to sort of pull it back?
Well, I mean, first of all, he's a huge unit lead. Bossman has an extra city here. What McLovin needs to do here is he needs to get defense fast. So he needs to kind of defend against those rammers. It's going to be very tough considering the fact that he hasn't really focused on units in the back. Like if you look at the back 2 villages, and some of them might have been units that just were killed. But he doesn't have any units this turn that he can place onto the ocean, which gives Bossman a big advantage here. Like McLovin. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
Okay. And I want to be clear again so I don't get it wrong, but I think that means Bossman takes the first victory in the final. Am I correct?
He is taking the first win.
Okay, good, because you waited a long time and you left me in suspense there.
No.
Fantastic. Well, there we have it, chaps. One step closer. You were betting, you are betting, I should say, on a 3-gamer here, right?
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I'm betting on a 3-gamer.
But Big Dictator Bossman does take a win. I mean, that was quite a good one, I thought. What were your opinions on that game?
Well, that was a great game. I think what Bossman did there is, he forced a reaction, obviously, because he pushed towards that one village. He knew that the village that was, on the edge there, was going to be very hard to control. So he went instead for the other village, and McLovin was like, "Nope, I don't want to give you that village." So he kind of launched an attack. And what Bossman did secretly is he built up a line of defense, right, like scout, warrior, just a row of them, and forced a reaction from McLovin. Mm-hmm. So when McLovin went in with his giant and his scouts and everything, Bossman retaliated with scouts, with rammers, and just demolished his water, which really shifted that tide. So these are the decisions, right, where if you can force a fight, you are typically in a very good position. But I'm curious to hear, like, what's your perspective, as a noob, in the game.
As to that game entirely, I can see you manufactured that question just to throw shade, and frankly, I respect it. No, from my perspective, and this is the cool thing about Polytopia, what I was seeing is an initial sort of cagey match. You can see them trying to fight over those two small villages, and like you say, you've got that little reserve at the back ready to go. I did think when McLovin came out with those rammers, I did think it was going to be sort of curtains. I thought it was going to sort of cascade through. But frankly, his giant was up. I'm interrupted by the second game getting going immediately. We have McLovin in the sort of very nice sort of purple pink there, and Bossman in green, opposite sides of the map, east versus west. Take it away. What do you think?
Well, this is an interesting map layout here. Obviously, McLovin is in a slightly disadvantaged spot here, considering that he has only one direction to move in. He can't move east and get that quick lighthouse. He has to go around to kind of discover the rest there. So he needs to get on the ocean. Hopefully, he finds a village up north there. Bossman, great access there to the water, right next to the border, 4 fishes, goes for hunting before capturing. And I think this is another thing that I want to point out to newer players, is whenever you buy technology, you want to buy technology before you capture a village. And the reason why is because your technology cost increases based on the amount of villages that you have. So always buying technology before capturing a village is essential. Mm-hmm. Goes for the explorer here though, and finds him. So this tells us a lot. Well, it gives Big Bossman a lot of information. He knows now that McLovin is there. He knows what he has. He knows where he is. He knows which direction he can move in safely without facing any resistance. McLovin sees the border, so he can also go for an explorer here and most likely find Bossman.
Let's see if he does. And he does indeed. This is an interesting map.
It is. And, from the looks of it now, I think both players, now that I need to see Bossman's perspective again, but does he see that one village? You see those 2 fruits in the rune? I mean, I guess we'll see now. Yeah, he does, right? Yeah, he sees.
He does. There we go. Moves into it.
So
and another one.
And another one. But there is one village right there at the bottom there. I think that village is going to be quite important, closer to the rune.
I think McLovin's going to probably take that one. I can't see Bossman being able to contest it this early.
It looks like it.
We're into the water this early. Okay.
That was a fast play, yeah. He's moving fast here.
That's what I was going to point out, that it now feels like both the players are playing a little bit faster. You can see decisions making. I think they're warmed up, frankly.
They have.
All right,
He's ruined there.
Take that village. All right, go on, gamble. What's it going to be?
Stars. Oh, yeah.
The next one's going to be stars. I'm going to tech.
Does he go for an explorer here? Yes.
Ooh.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
He did not.
I thought maybe he might wanted to secure that lighthouse, but he does know that getting the other lighthouses would have been hard, right? So
yeah, I think so. Now, again, it's just from my perspective, from an outside perspective, this feels like a weirder map. It feels like there's no real obvious avenues of confrontation. Like in the last one, we saw quite clearly that there was a hole in the middle that there was definitely going to be some fight over. Okay, explorer.
Gets the lighthouse.
Makes it to the other corner. Okay.
That's
Sees
great.
that village
Gets
up
the
there.
population here. Okay.
That's a great explorer, actually.
All right. So, Levin got some good
the
vision
fog of
there.
war difference is crazy.
It is. And this is the thing about Polytopia. Like fog of war, it makes the game so interesting because you see both point of views, and it changes how the players move. Right. Like if you have that vision, you have information. You know, it's kind of like if you're going down an alley and it's dark versus light, you know what threats to expect, so you can actually prepare yourself. Whereas if it's dark, you're like, you know, how do you prepare?
What's coming out of that forest,
Exactly.
You know? All right, goes organization. Okay. Let's see, what's he going to take now? So this... Okay. This one's baffled me. I'm not
Which
seeing
one?
like an obvious way forward.
Okay, so McLovin
By
got
the
stars
player.
here. Yeah, so I think at this stage, right, like McLovin needs to secure that village that he's next to. If I were him, I would have actually rushed that village instead of going for the ruin first. But again, you know, because you don't know where Bossman might be. All of a sudden, he has a raft, and then he moves on to that village.
And now you're... yeah.
But again, yeah, McLovin he really needs to secure the south here if he's gonna stand a chance.
One for riding. Oh, 3
Yeah.
riders.
He's gonna try and that's huge. That is
There we go.
so there are moments when you want swordsman and you don't want swordsman. This is the time where you want a swordsman. Like,
and also right on the front line as well. I mean, in one of the earlier games today, we saw a swordsman that was way back in there. And by the
Yeah.
time he arrived on the front line, the battle was already lost.
mm-hmm.
Let's see.
And,
so riding for McLovin and Bossman. Let's see where he goes next.
So, mind you, I think Bossman, earlier on, he did get stars. I don't know, maybe that was McLovin, okay. But the danger here is if Bossman goes for a ramming, he could easily siege that Nova City. So, if then McLovin decides to, launch a full-on attack north and leave that city vulnerable, that might do a lot. But yeah, you can tell he's thinking here. He's trying to contemplate like what to do from this position. He's figuring out. He's calculating plays.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, again, I'll throw the same question that I've been hitting you with all evening. Which one would you rather be right now? Who's in the better position?
Probably Bossman. So obviously he's leading with cities. McLovin is gonna catch up here, but he's okay.
Ooh.
Forcing an attack, finds a ruin. That's actually pretty good because Bossman is most likely not gonna try and contest.
He could. He does have the riders.
Yeah, he does.
That's a lot of riders, actually. So how many riders? So he's got, what, 5?
Yeah,
5
he has
riders. Okay.
5 riders now, yeah. He gets that.
I'll tell you this now. I'm baffled.
Yeah, the question now, does he capture or does he kill that rider? Right?
That's what I'm thinking. This This is a very open-ended game. I feel like the previous ones, with my limited experience, I had an understanding of what the general next step should be. This one is, like I said, it's very. I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels very open-ended.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pushes forwards.
So without a unit there, like, here's the interesting thing. Bossman can now make a play to save his technology. He did go for forestry and capture that, but next turn, if he has the money, he could go for a scout, and he could knock off.
Ooh, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unlucky. Went the wrong way. He could go for a scout here and knock off that capture that village. Because McLovin,
okay,
yeah. Because if he goes for a scout here, he's got 3 riders. 3 riders are not enough to kill a swordsman. Maybe if he goes back,
he's going to sit on that city, and then he's gonna. Well, he'll have to contest it. He can't just let the swordsman.
That's yeah. Look at that. So he's going to kill it now. Mm-hmm. Or at least damage it. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to kill it, but.
So even
he'll
if
make
he does,
it such that he can't hold the territory. Yeah.
Yeah. It's roads.
Roads.
Interesting. So.
I've got a feeling something weird's going to happen. I've got a feeling something weird's going to happen. Wait, I mean, again, something odd's happening when both casters like, Oh, hello. Okay, he's going to try and secure that village. You think you can hold that village?
Well, I'm curious as to. No, wait, he can't. I was thinking, can he siege? But he's not able to.
I mean, surely he takes the village south of him, right? The one south of Nova.
What he can do is kill that, and then does he go forward or back?
Oh, go forwards. Nah, backwards.
Nah,
it's the smarter play, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I like seeing action. Actually, even if it's senseless, just any sort of violence. I'm going to ask a question. Can you try and tell me why he wouldn't focus on getting that city to the south of Nova, so southeast of Nova? A village.
Which city is that?
There's a village southeast of Nova.
McLovin resigns.
Is that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh.
Bossman,
well, I take no pleasure in it, but I was right.
You get the point, man. Yeah.
There we go. I'll take my forest. But more importantly than me winning a bet for a plant, we have ourselves our Kikoo representative. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Big Dictator Bossman, the representative of the Kikoo tribe. This is someone that you're aware of. Do you think the Kikoo tribe has a good representative in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, Big Bossman is a solid player. You know, he is. I've seen him for a while. I've followed him along. He's overall just a good player, and the fact that he won this shows his versatility in terms of playing with different tribes, right? Because I think last year he played with, was it Zabasi or Umaji? Mm-hmm. So he knows how to play different tribes and make it very far. And that shows a skill.
Hang on. It might have popped up again. Let's see.
What?
I think it's 1-1.
What? It says here 2-0.
Yeah, but I think because it flashed up again, I think it's 1-1. I think we're going to a third one. I think you're right.
No way. So I get my plants. Yes.
No.
Oh.
Okay, it is 1-1. It is 1-1. Okay, I've just confirmed it again. It's 1-1.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
What happened? But it said Big Dictator Bossman wins. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but I think it's because it pops up. Anyway, I think it's 1-1. We'll get a confirmation in a second, but I think it's 1-1, which means you're right. We're going to the. There we go. It's updated. We're going to the third game. It is 1-1.
This is going to be interesting.
All right, well.
Then.
We'll see how the mental game factors in. And which plant would you like in the meantime? As the players get ready.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take a look here. Let's see. Yeah, maybe you know what? Something like the one on your right there, you know? Yeah.
This one down here.
Yeah.
Or the one in the back?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that one right there.
That's my girlfriend's part, mate. You can get me in trouble.
Okay. No, I'm not going to take your
No,
girlfriend's
I'll ship it. I'm a man of my word. I'm not
I'll-
a man
but
of announcing results, though, apparently. But hey.
I have a little bit of empathy, so I won't take that.
Appreciate it. All right, well, it looks like it's 1-1 now. Let's see who is going to come out on top. And if Big Dictator Bossman does come out on top, then what we do is we just take what I've said and just supplant it straight in, hey?
Yeah.
The players are ready. We're going to get going for the actual final in just a moment. Any second now. And they'll be going head-to-head, and whoever wins this becomes the Kikoo tribe representative. The unknown to you, McLovin, the household name of Big Dictator Bossman. Let's find out. I mean, again, we start once more.
All right, here we go. Okay, so tier 0 opener here goes for the upgrade. Same with McLovin, both of them do that. Finds a village. So both of them have villages now, which is good. And they're very close to each other. They're very close.
Yeah, how do you think they should start this? Go on, McLovin, how does he play?
Well, McLovin, he got the village there, which is right, bordering on Bossman. So this is, and he finds him. Look at that. He's gonna find him here. Get the lighthouse, most likely. There we go. And hopefully a little vision. There we go. So from this spot, McLovin, he just got a lot of vision, which again, information, right? This next move, okay, Bossman went up there. That is a little bit unfortunate, because if he had gone south, he might have found a village there. So if you look at, okay, there wasn't a village, so he got lucky.
There's one though.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have a very hotly contested center of the map, I think, here. Riding pops up.
The question now is,
he's found him.
Bossman. Yeah, he needs to expand on the ocean fast. That's his only play. He's not going to be able to siege that village as of now. So he needs to focus on getting villages elsewhere. And Bossman knows, like, how do I play this from here,
He is slightly slower than his last one, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in.
Maybe he thought he won as well. And now this is a surprise.
Imagine.
So what makes you say it's a tough spot to be in?
Well, access, right, to villages. So he's currently forced to go on the ocean here if he wants to find villages. And, McLovin can kill that warrior. Boom. And if he then finds... Okay, he didn't find a village there. But yeah, this is looking very, very tricky for Bossman. So if you take a look, he has that city, Valio. He's restricted to one movement, on the edge there. He can't expand towards McLovin. McLovin can go full... yes, so he's going defense now. He's like, I need to defend here. I need, I need to do something. Meanwhile, you have McLovin, who is now going to capture this and have better access to villages. And there we go. This is I don't know how else to put this, guys. This is a very tough spot.
We'll have to see. Okay.
You're like from your perspective, how do you read this? With
difficulty. It's the best way I can describe it. With difficulty. Yeah. I don't know. For me, look, the numbers. Well, I say the numbers. The placement speaks for itself, right? I mean, for me personally, I just rush for the capital. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
but
rush it down.
if you're in Bossman's shoes here, so
If I'm in Bossman's shoes, okay, if I'm in Bossman's shoes, I would probably start, again, I'd keep moving that villager south, or the warrior south. Yeah, that's a great move. Popping out some archers to try and get some sort of defense going, and then hopefully you can... He can't even see that village though, can he?
he can't see it. That's the thing.
Man, the vision really, really hurt him.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why, you know, the fog of war makes all the difference here. You know, this is going to be one of those games where McLovin needs to make a mistake, and Bossman has to find other villages as fast as he possibly can, because he's going to have double the cities, going to have more income, and he can play very aggressive here, forcing Bossman to not expand essentially, because.
Well, to be fair, the last time we saw someone, we said that they were going to be aggressive. It didn't really pan out like that, did it? They decided to sort of hold on to their advantage and stretch out, because those are your options in Polytopia. You don't necessarily have to push the advantage. You can just sort of hold it there.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, this is one of those points where if you know, McLovin probably knows he's in a good position here because he has vision of Bossman, so he knows the position that he's in, right? So from his perspective, you know, he just needs to play this. He just needs to play this smart. You know, he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's in a great place, like you say. Yeah. Yeah, he knows he's in a great place.
And you know, now he can decide: do I want to play aggressive or do I want to expand and just, you know, try and keep Bossman from.
I think there's your answer, my friend.
Yeah.
There you go, he's pushing forwards, popping in and out.
So Bossman can also count scores, so he knows that he has more villages. But he's going to try and do a little bit of damage here. Bossman is not giving up easily. He's not having any luck in that, you know, in finding villages down south there. Okay, goes for more defense.
God, the difference in vision is staggering, isn't it? I mean, it
is.
There you go, nice little ruin there if he wants to pick that one up as well. Okay, so we're seeing Bossman try and turtle up and try and protect his capital. I think if he hadn't done that, his capital's gone, right? We can agree on that. If he hadn't popped out the archers, that's sort of where he's at. And we'll see. I mean, again, it's in McLovin's hands, and he can drop it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for Bossman is you know, he's going with the archers, so he can now hold off any movement in No. I think that's the city's name, No.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he can just keep on popping that. But again, those archers, if they advance without a warrior up front, those riders can damage it. So it's not looking like Bossman can do anything here except for huddle, but he wants vision. Yeah,
he's seen the city now. There you go. That's changed his thought.
So getting that vision is very important, and I would focus on water axis here. There we go, and then perhaps move the archer either down or up on the. And then create another warrior there if he can afford it. Yeah, there we go. So now the question is, Bossman needs to kind of hold him off, but again,
it's a lot of riders to hold off. I think here's the thing. I think he is going to hold him off. I think he's going to hold him off successfully, and I don't think McLovin, because like you say, McLovin realizes the strength of the position that he's in. He knows what's on the line. He knows it's 1-to-1, which to me suggests that he is going to hold the advantage and not pressure it, because in pressuring, he can make a mistake. In not pressuring, he has all of the cards in his hands.
Yes.
That being said, I want to see him pressure it.
I mean, you're spot on there. He knows the position he's in. He can probably go for roads here and just keep pressuring Bossman. What's going to happen as this game progresses? Look, he's going with riders here, healing them up. Bossman can't really do anything. in terms of offensive. He just needs to play defense. He needs to hope that he can survive. He does find that village, which is great for him. He really needs that. He really needs that if he's going to have a comeback here. But unfortunately, he cannot make any more units. So look at the... Do you see the next playlist? Do you see what can potentially happen?
You'll have to walk me through it if you're seeing something I'm not.
So I don't know how many stars. I think 4 villages. Quick math in my head. He might be able to buy roads plus just 1 roads. What he could do is he could siege that city down south in Nahilo or something. So he could go for a rider. He could bounce off. I think he can do it 1, 2. Nah, yeah, he needs roads here. He's probably gonna do it. Look, there we go. Yeah, he had enough, and he's gonna bounce on that village. Look at this.
Oh, is he? I mean, I agree with you that looks like
And then he's gonna kill that, and then yeah, this is GG.
This is heading towards its logical conclusion. I think is the wordy way of saying GG.
Good game.
We'll see. Again, we know, like, the longer it's not a great position to be in for Bossman. It does look like McLovin is going to be the Kikoo representative. Can he hold his nerve? Like we're saying, it could be a slam dunk, but I'll be honest, in the last qualifiers, I did see some people fumble positions as strong as this. So it can still turn around.
Yeah, this is going to be this is a good move.
Oh, he's going for it. I think if he goes for it, I think that'll be it. I do agree with you. If he goes for it, that'll be it. It's a case of does he in go the riders?
Yeah, this really
the back.
This looks like winning here. This looks like winning Leif. I mean, he's he can't defend against it, you know?
There's nothing he can do. Oh, good. The boat's for the water. That'll do it. Yeah, we'll see what Bossman does on his turn. He might fight to the last. I certainly would if I was in his position. But we're not seeing any mistakes. McLovin would have to do something massive here. It would have to be a dramatic mistake. Frankly, we'd have to check the betting lines if he lost at this point. All right, Bossman, what are you doing on your turn? How are you countering this? Come up with something. Show us something.
So Bossman has 5 stars. He needs to get riding.
Finds a village.
He's not giving up. I love this. I love this tenacity.
Yeah, well, it's great. Again, if you resign, you guarantee a loss. You
Exactly.
know? That's the only thing that's guaranteed.
Exactly. But it's a rough spot to be in. Like
incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to stop that rider from taking it. He's going to be having to try and hold his capital, and then he's going to send his warriors around to try and scoop up what little villages there are that remain, you know?
Mm-hmm. And this is what I mean.
We're going to see McLovin presumably try and take the same and push.
Yeah.
Well, what potential mistakes could McLovin do at this point to fumble here?
Well, I mean, he has a strong line of defense here with the riders, so he can. Oh, he's going to siege his capital. Look at that.
There it is.
And Bossman is going to have 0 stars next turn. He can unsiege. No, he can't. He can't unsiege.
He can't unsiege?
He can unsiege here. It's 15. He's got a veteran. This is
There it is.
McLovin wins.
McLovin does win, and I want to confirm it before we do anything else. I cannot imagine for a second McLovin's resigned there, but I want to make sure. Should we just call it? I want to confidently say
we can call it. This is
there we go. McLovin
landslide
wins. There we go. A fantastic win to cap off what has been an eventful day. McLovin is the Kikoo tribe champion. They will be going to the face-off with 12 tribes, the 11 other tribes. Only 8 of those can make it all the way to Stockholm. And you can see I've been rubbing my head a lot, trying to think of ways that the Bossman could have gotten out of that one. But at the end there, it's just good plays. We go back to the bracket, a long, winding journey. Had to face off opponent after opponent, but McLovin does make it all the way. Fantastic stuff. I mean, that's the reverse sweep.
That is impressive
stuff.
Honestly, it was, it was an unlucky spawn by Bossman. I can say that. Like he did obviously, with the villages, he only had access to the two, and he did move one of the units north instead of south, which did cost him maybe if he was able to get that third village. I think it was called Soho or Noho or Loho. I remember that one village that was all the way in the bottom there. He might have had a chance, but yeah, it's unlucky. And this is the thing as well. When you're playing a game like this, it's all about where do you place your units, right? Because you're going against the fog of war. So yeah, man, I think that was I was excited. I was like, whoa, and then there was a point where I was like, McLovin just, I could kind of see he was leading to victory. And I was like, this might be hard for Bossman, because McLovin, I haven't seen him play before, apart from today, but he's a very good player as well. Like it's clear, like he's making decisions that are good. He could have probably been like, I'm not going to attack. I'm going to focus on expansion and economy.
It's always fun when a capital gets sieged in a domination game. That's how I want to see these games. And shout out to Bossman for not just going, all right, cool, I'm done. He waited until the last possible moment where it was evident. Now, that is one tribe decided. That's the Kikoo tribe's representative, but we have so many more. Why don't we take a look at next week's tribe, shall we? The Yadak tribe. This is who we're going to be focusing on next week. Give me just a little sneak preview of what we might expect.
Yeah, so the Yadak tribe is, they start off with roads, right? So what does that mean? It means that they can quickly use their roads to gain 2 tiles of movement. So this is really where expansion is going to be very important. And they have a strong road to trade, right? You can tell by the things that they like: discounts, respectable business practices, capitalism, and again, one thing they don't like is the Vengir. Again,
obviously,
there is this Vengir thing. But yeah, Yadak is going to be a very interesting matchup. You can still sign up for this, right?
Absolutely can. You absolutely can. So if you want us to be covering your game next week, make sure that you sign up. All right? You can sign up for any of these tribes. Again, Ramdingler decided the Kikoo tribe, not for him. Has signed up for a different tribe. Is going to try and make it to the final with his favored tribe. So why don't you at home get involved, and it could be you next. Having said that, next week we are going to be looking at the Yadak tribe as Polytopia. I'll use your government name in my opinion to describe you. Any sort of final words from you?
Well, I mean, like when you think about Yadak, everyone, it's the strength is that they can move units faster than other tribes. Obviously, this is going to be a mirror matchup, right? So it all depends on who can utilize roads the best early on to gain the advantage. So the classic idea: build a road, often diagonally, towards the edges, and get those villages, right? So it's going to be very exciting to see. But yeah, it's a tempo tribe for sure.
Well, I look forward to it, and we are going to see that next week, next Sunday, 5 p.m. CEST. Make sure you're there for the qualifiers. The journey has only just begun, and it ends in a live event in Stockholm you're not going to want to miss. Thank you once again for watching. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.